Your mind holds more power than you realize, and the way you think every single day directly shapes your results. If you want to see real change in your life, build wealth, and create opportunities, it starts with how you use your mind right now. This audiobook will guide you step by step to develop focus, discipline, confidence, and habits that actually work. You'll learn how to take control of your thoughts, handle challenges without giving up, and turn ideas into real achievements. By the time you finish listening, you'll understand exactly what it takes to train your mind, make better decisions, and take action in a way that brings lasting results. This isn't about empty motivation or quick fixes. It's about giving you practical, everyday tools to strengthen your mindset, increase your resilience, and finally see the results you've been working toward. Stick with this, apply what you hear, and you'll discover how activating your golden mind can change the way you approach life, unlock opportunities, and allow wealth and success to follow you naturally. Chapter 1. Master your thoughts to create unstoppable daily focus. Your mind is the foundation of everything you experience in life. Every choice, every action, every direction you take begins with a single thought. If your thoughts are scattered, your life becomes scattered. If your thoughts are negative, your actions will follow that same path. But when you master your thoughts and bring them under your command, you unlock a level of daily focus that cannot be shaken by distractions or setbacks. This is where the golden mind begins, and once it is activated, everything in your life starts to align with clarity, strength, and purpose. The first truth you must accept is that your thoughts are not random visitors that come and go without influence. They are the architects of your future. What you allow to dominate your inner world will eventually shape your outer reality. Most people drift through life without realizing that their thoughts are driving them into patterns of procrastination, fear, and wasted energy. They complain about distractions, but they never address the real problem, their inability to discipline their mind. If you can discipline your thoughts, you can discipline your entire life. Mastery of thought does not mean you never have negative or doubtful ideas. Those will always appear because the mind is influenced by everything it absorbs from the world. What mastery means is that you choose which thoughts to give attention to, which thoughts to nurture, and which ones to discard immediately. Imagine waking up in the morning and consciously deciding what you will focus on instead of letting your mind wander aimlessly. Instead of scrolling through information that fills your head with noise, you direct your attention toward what strengthens you. That single habit alone, practiced daily, is enough to transform the level of focus you bring into your day. The human mind is powerful, but it is also lazy by default. It will always take the easiest route if you do not train it. That easy route is distraction, comfort, and temporary pleasure. To master your thoughts, you must build awareness of how often your mind tries to escape the present moment. Every time you sit to do something important, notice how quickly your attention is pulled towards something else. You begin to think about what happened yesterday, or what might happen tomorrow, or you suddenly feel the urge to check something meaningless. This is the untrained mind in action. It resists discipline because it has been conditioned to chase stimulation instead of stillness. The first step in creating unstoppable focus is to recognize this tendency and bring your awareness back to what matters. Awareness without action is not enough. Once you notice your mind drifting, you must practice redirecting it firmly to the task at hand. This is not easy at first, but like training a muscle, it grows stronger with repetition. Each time you resist distraction and bring yourself back to focus, you are rewiring your brain to prioritize discipline. Over time, what once felt like a struggle becomes your natural state. This is what separates the few who achieve greatness from the many who live in constant distraction. Practical mastery begins with setting a clear direction for your thoughts. Every morning before the day begins, take time to choose what you will focus on. If you start your day without intention, the world will choose for you, and the world will always drown you in noise. Decide in advance, what is the most important thing I must give my energy to today? Once you answer that, remind yourself repeatedly throughout the day, your focus must always return to that priority. Without this clarity, your thoughts will scatter across dozens of unimportant things, and by evening, you will wonder why nothing meaningful was accomplished. Daily focus also requires protecting your mind from unnecessary input. The truth is, most people lose their focus not because they lack ability, but because they allow too much information to invade their mental space. Constant news, endless conversations, and meaningless entertainment consume the energy that should be devoted to building your life. Mastering your thoughts means being ruthless about what you feed your mind. Ask yourself each time, will this strengthen me or weaken me? Will this make me more focused or more distracted? When you choose carefully, your mind remains sharp, your energy remains intact, and your focus remains unstoppable. There is another essential principle in mastering your thoughts. Never allow negative inner dialogue to rule you. Most people carry a constant stream of self-criticism inside them. They tell themselves they are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of change. That mental conversation becomes a prison that prevents them from moving forward. If you want to create unstoppable focus, you must replace destructive inner language with empowering thoughts. Instead of saying "I can't," replace it with "I will try until I succeed." Instead of saying "I'm not ready," replace it with "I will prepare until I am ready." This conscious replacement of thoughts builds a stronger inner voice that pushes you forward rather than holding you back. Real mastery also means knowing how to handle stress and emotions that cloud your thinking. When you are anxious, angry, or overwhelmed, your thoughts scatter and your focus breaks. The disciplined mind learns to pause before reacting. Take deep breaths, ground yourself in the present, and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Emotions are temporary waves, but if you allow them to control your thoughts, you will lose direction. To remain focused, you must learn to observe your emotions without letting them dictate your behavior. That calmness under pressure is what gives you power over circumstances. Practical application of thought mastery also involves structuring your environment. Your surroundings either support focus or destroy it. A cluttered environment feeds a cluttered mind. A noisy space feeds a distracted mind. Create spaces where your thoughts can stay aligned with your goals. Remove unnecessary distractions from your desk, your phone, your schedule. Protect your time with the same seriousness that you protect your health. Each hour you waste on meaningless activity is an hour taken away from building your future. When your environment is disciplined, your mind will follow. Another truth you must accept is that the mind becomes what it repeatedly does. If you spend your days entertaining distractions, your mind becomes restless and weak. If you train your mind daily through discipline, it becomes powerful and focused. This is why habits are critical. Train your mind to focus on one task at a time. Do it fully, without switching, without interruptions. When you finish, move to the next. This single task discipline is far more effective than juggling multiple things at once. Multitasking is the enemy of mastery because it fragments your thoughts. True focus is doing one thing with absolute attention until it is complete. You must also learn the value of silence. Many fear silence because it exposes the noise within their own minds. But silence is the training ground of thought mastery. Spend time each day away from screens, away from chatter, simply sitting with your own mind. In those moments, observe the stream of thoughts that appear and practice letting them pass without attachment. Over time, you will notice that you can choose which thoughts to engage with and which to release. This inner stillness strengthens your ability to direct your focus whenever you choose. Consistency is the final piece. Mastering your thoughts is not a one-time effort. It is a lifelong discipline that must be renewed daily. There will be days when you slip, when distractions overwhelm you, when your mind feels restless. Do not allow those moments to defeat you. Discipline means starting again, every time, with patience and persistence. The golden mind is built not by perfection, but by persistence. Each time you choose focus over distraction, discipline over laziness, clarity over noise, you strengthen the foundation of your future. The reward of mastering your thoughts is freedom. Freedom from the constant pull of distractions, freedom from negative inner voices, freedom from wasted time and wasted potential. When your mind is under your control, nothing external can shake you. You will carry a calm and powerful focus into everything you do, and that focus will make you unstoppable in building the life you want. Wealth, success, and growth will naturally follow because they are the byproducts of a disciplined and focused mind. Every morning, remind yourself that the first victory of the day is won inside your own mind. Win that battle, and the rest of the day falls into order. Guard your thoughts carefully, direct them intentionally, and train them consistently. The golden mind is not given, it is created through daily practice, and once you master it, you will carry within you a source of unstoppable focus that no distraction, no failure, and no challenge can break. Chapter 2. Develop routines that build consistency and lasting discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be, and that bridge is built one routine at a time. Without structure, the days slip away, energy is wasted, and opportunities vanish. With structure, every hour carries purpose, and progress becomes inevitable. A routine is not about restriction, it is about freedom, the freedom to know that your actions are aligned with your goals, and that each day is a step forward instead of a cycle of distraction and regret. When you build routines that create consistency, you no longer depend on motivation that comes and goes. You create a system that carries you even when your emotions resist, and that system slowly becomes your strongest ally. The first key in building routines is to decide what truly matters to you. Many people fill their schedules with activities that look busy but bring no growth. If you want discipline that lasts, your routines must be built on actions that move you closer to your desired future. That means separating what is essential from what is unnecessary. The disciplined life is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters repeatedly until the results cannot be ignored. Ask yourself every day, if I repeated this action for the next year, would it improve my life? If the answer is yes, make it part of your daily structure. If the answer is no, remove it immediately. Routines gain power when they are anchored to specific times. Without a clear place in your schedule, even the best intentions fade. Decide when you will do something and honor that time as if it were a non-negotiable appointment with your future self. If your mornings begin with activities that strengthen your body and sharpen your mind, you carry that strength into the entire day. If your evenings end with review, reflection, and planning, you set the stage for a stronger tomorrow. Discipline thrives when it is placed within clear boundaries, because boundaries remove the endless choice that drains your willpower. Another critical element is simplicity. The reason most people fail to keep routines is that they make them too complicated. Start small. A single push-up done daily will teach you more about discipline than 100 push-ups done once. A single page of reading done daily will grow your knowledge more than 100 pages read in one burst and then abandoned. Routines are about consistency, not intensity. Once you have proven to yourself that you can show up daily, you can increase the challenge. But first, build the foundation of showing up, No matter how small the action is, that habit of showing up becomes the seed of lasting discipline. You must also protect your routines from the temptation of excuses. There will always be reasons to delay, reasons to quit, reasons to say I'll do it later. If you allow that voice to win once, it will win again. Discipline is forged when you act even when you do not feel like it. The truth is, you will rarely feel like following through. That is why routines exist, to carry you when feelings cannot be trusted. Each time you honor your routine in the face of resistance, you grow stronger. Each time you break it, you weaken the structure you are trying to build. The choice is yours in every moment, and the consequences accumulate with time. Accountability also strengthens discipline. When you share your commitments with someone you trust or track your routines in a visible way, you create pressure to remain consistent. The human mind responds to accountability because it forces us to confront whether we are living in alignment with our words. Write down your daily commitments and check them off each evening. Review your progress weekly and adjust where needed. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about honest reflection and continuous improvement. The power of routine lies in its ability to make success predictable rather than accidental. The environment you create around you plays a significant role in whether your routines survive. If you surround yourself with distractions, your routines will constantly be under attack. If you surround yourself with clarity and order, your routines will flow naturally. Remove the triggers that pull you away from your commitments and replace them with triggers that pull you toward them. Place your running shoes where you see them in the morning. If your goal is fitness, put a book on your desk. If your goal is learning, structure your surroundings so that the path of least resistance is the path of discipline. Another aspect of developing lasting routines is learning to adjust without abandoning them. Life will bring unexpected changes, and routines that are too rigid may collapse under pressure. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about persistence. If circumstances force you to adjust the timing or intensity of your routine, adapt but do not abandon. A shortened version of your commitment is always better than breaking it completely. This flexibility ensures that your discipline survives over the long term, no matter what challenges appear. One of the most overlooked truths about routines is that they reshape your identity. Every time you repeat an action, you are casting a vote for the type of person you are becoming. If you follow through with your commitments, you begin to see yourself as someone reliable, disciplined, and capable. That identity becomes stronger with each repetition, and soon discipline no longer feels like a burden. It feels like a natural expression of who you are. People fail not because they lack ability, but because they still see themselves as weak, inconsistent, or undisciplined. Change your routines, and you will change the way you see yourself. Change the way you see yourself, and your routines will become unbreakable. To make your routines sustainable, you must also connect them to a larger purpose. Discipline without meaning quickly fades. Why should you wake up early? Why should you wake up early? Why should you exercise daily? Why should you dedicate time to learning or building your craft? The answer must be tied to your vision of the future. When you know why your routines matter, the effort feels lighter, because you understand the reward that is being built silently behind the scenes. Every disciplined action is a deposit into your future wealth, health, and success. Without purpose, routines feel like chores. With purpose, routines feel like investments. Finally, celebrate progress, no matter how small. Discipline is not fueled by punishment. It is fueled by recognition. Acknowledge the days you kept your word to yourself. Appreciate the fact that you showed up when it would have been easier to quit. These small celebrations reinforce the behavior and remind you that progress is happening even when results are not yet visible. Each day of discipline is another stone in the foundation of your future, and over time, that foundation becomes unshakable. When you commit to routines, you no longer live by chance, you live by design. Your days are no longer dictated by mood or distraction, but by intention and structure. This is the path of consistency, and consistency is what transforms effort into results, dreams into reality, and potential into achievement. The routines you choose today will shape the life you live tomorrow. Build them wisely, honor them daily, and allow them to become the framework of your growth. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the greatest freedom you can give yourself, the freedom to know that every day counts, every action matters, and every routine is carrying you toward the future you have chosen. Chapter 3. Train your mind to embrace challenges and grow. Growth does not come from comfort. It comes from the fire of challenge that forces you to rise beyond your limits and discover strength you did not know existed. The mind that avoids challenges becomes fragile and unprepared for the demands of life, but the mind that learns to embrace difficulty develops resilience, clarity, and confidence that no obstacle can take away. Every challenge you face is a test, not of your circumstances, but of your ability to respond, adapt, and move forward stronger than before. To train your mind for growth, you must stop running from discomfort and begin seeing it as the greatest opportunity for transformation. The first step in this training is to shift your perspective on challenges. Many see challenges as threats or punishments, but in truth, they are teachers. They reveal weaknesses that must be strengthened and skills that must be developed. Without challenges, there would be no reason to grow, because growth only comes when you are stretched beyond your familiar abilities. When you reframe challenges as opportunities to improve, they no longer create fear, but create determination. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can this situation teach me?" That single mental shift can turn struggle into fuel for growth. Training your mind to embrace challenges requires conscious exposure to difficulty. You cannot grow stronger by only choosing the easy path. Just as the body becomes stronger when muscles are tested, the mind becomes stronger when you place yourself in situations that demand effort, patience, and persistence. Start small by choosing tasks that push you just beyond your current comfort. Each time you succeed, your confidence grows and your capacity expands. What once felt overwhelming eventually becomes normal, and that constant expansion is how growth is created. The second principle in embracing challenges is patience. Growth does not appear instantly. The mind resists challenge at first because it craves immediate relief. But discipline requires you to stay in the process long enough to see results. Many people quit at the first sign of difficulty because they mistake struggle for failure. In truth, struggle is the sign that growth is happening. When you continue despite the resistance, you train your mind to endure discomfort and focus on long-term gain over short-term ease. Patience in challenge is the seed of mastery. Another powerful practice is to embrace failure as part of the journey. A mind trained for growth does not fear mistakes because it understands that failure is feedback. Each failure reveals what does not work and points the way toward what might. When you fear failure, you avoid trying altogether, and without trying there can be no progress. To grow, you must act boldly, fail often, and learn quickly. The more you practice this cycle, the stronger your mind becomes, and challenges that once intimidated you become stepping stones toward greater success. Surrounding yourself with challenges also means surrounding yourself with people who demand more of you. If everyone around you accepts mediocrity, you will remain the same. But if you place yourself among those who aim higher, who demand accountability, and who refuse to settle, your mind will be forced to elevate. Growth is contagious when you are in the right environment. Seek mentors, communities, and peers who live by challenge and discipline, and you will naturally rise to meet their standard. To strengthen your mind for challenges, you must also build emotional control. A challenge often stirs frustration, fear, or doubt, but the trained mind does not let emotions take command. Instead, it pauses, reflects, and chooses a response that serves growth. This ability to remain calm in difficulty is what separates the weak from the strong. Every time you face a challenge, focus less on the discomfort it brings and more on the opportunity it presents. By directing your thoughts this way, you prevent emotions from sabotaging your progress. Daily habits can also prepare your mind for larger challenges. Simple acts of discipline, waking early, exercising consistently, reading daily, setting goals and meeting them, train your mind to accept discomfort as normal. These small acts of self-control create a foundation of strength that carries into larger battles. When the bigger challenges of life arrive, you will not be shaken because you have been practicing resilience in small ways every day. Growth is built on these daily victories that condition your mind to push through resistance instead of avoiding it. Visualization is another powerful tool. Before stepping into a challenge, picture yourself meeting it with strength. See the obstacles clearly, but also see yourself overcoming them with persistence. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind for what lies ahead, reducing fear and building confidence. When you finally face the challenge in reality, it feels familiar because your mind has already practiced success. Athletes, leaders, and innovators use this technique to turn fear into preparation and doubt into determination. You must also learn to detach your worth from temporary results. Challenges are not about proving your value, they are about developing your capacity. If you attach your identity to immediate outcomes, you will quit when things go wrong. But when you see challenges as part of a process, you will continue despite setbacks. The trained mind understands that growth is measured not by single victories, but by continuous improvement over time. With this perspective, no challenge feels final, and every obstacle becomes part of the journey forward. One of the greatest benefits of embracing challenges is the confidence it creates. Each time you overcome difficulty, you build evidence that you are capable of more than you believed. That confidence cannot be faked. It is earned through direct experience. The more challenges you face, the more unshakable your self-belief becomes. You begin to trust yourself, and that trust allows you to take even greater risks, leading to even greater growth. Confidence is not built in comfort, it is built in challenge. Your growth will always be proportional to the size of the challenges you are willing to face. Small challenges create small growth. Great challenges create great growth. Do not fear the size of the challenge in front of you. Instead, remind yourself that its size is exactly what will make you stronger. The mind that trains itself to see obstacles this way will never be defeated, because it understands that every challenge carries a gift hidden within it, the gift of becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient than before. When you train your mind to embrace challenges, you no longer waste energy avoiding them. You stop making excuses, stop running from responsibility, and stop wishing for an easier path. Instead, you face life directly, knowing that whatever comes your way can be turned into growth. This mindset transforms you from a passive participant in life into an active creator of your future. Every challenge becomes a building block, every setback becomes a lesson, and every difficulty becomes proof of your strength. The truth is, life will not remove challenges from your path. They will always appear, sometimes when you least expect them. But you have the power to decide how you respond. If you train your mind to embrace them, you will grow through them, and with each one, you will become more capable of creating the life you desire. This is the discipline of growth. To welcome challenge, to endure struggle, and to emerge stronger on the other side. Chapter 4. Cultivate gratitude to attract abundance into your life. Gratitude is the doorway to a richer life, because it shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present, and that simple change in perspective opens the path to abundance. When you practice gratitude, you are not ignoring the struggles or pretending challenges do not exist. You are training your mind to see the value in every experience and to recognize opportunities where others only see obstacles. A grateful mind becomes a fertile ground for growth, while an ungrateful mind becomes a prison of dissatisfaction. If you want abundance to flow into your life, you must first develop the ability to appreciate what you already have, because appreciation attracts more to appreciate. The first step in cultivating gratitude is awareness. Too often people move through their days on autopilot, noticing only what is lacking or what is frustrating. They wake up complaining about the weather, the traffic, or their responsibilities, and this negativity blinds them to the simple gifts around them. The truth is, no matter where you are in life, there is something to be grateful for: your health, your ability to learn, the people who care for you, or even the lessons gained from past struggles. Awareness means deliberately pausing to notice these things and refusing to let them go unnoticed. Gratitude grows when you make it a habit to look for reasons to be thankful instead of reasons to be bitter. Gratitude is not only about appreciation of the good moments, it is also about finding meaning in the difficult ones. Life will never be free of hardship, but gratitude allows you to see hardship as a teacher instead of a punishment. When you face setbacks, you can choose to ask what lesson is hidden within them. This perspective transforms even painful experiences into sources of growth. Instead of being consumed by frustration, you become empowered by wisdom. In this way, gratitude does not just attract abundance, it helps you build resilience, because you realize that even the hardest days give you something valuable to carry forward. One powerful practice for cultivating gratitude is reflection at the start and end of each day. In the morning, begin by acknowledging a few things you are thankful for: your breath, your strength, your opportunities, or simply the chance to live another day. This immediately sets a tone of appreciation that influences how you carry yourself throughout the day. At night, take a few minutes to reflect on what went right, no matter how small. Did you learn something new? Did you spend time with someone who matters? Did you complete a task that once felt difficult? Recording or mentally reviewing these moments builds a sense of fulfillment that accumulates over time. Small acts of recognition create a foundation of gratitude that strengthens your mindset daily. Gratitude also requires you to shift your attention away from comparison. Many people destroy their peace by measuring themselves against others. They look at what others have and feel they are falling behind. But gratitude breaks this cycle by reminding you to value your own journey. Instead of asking why you do not have what someone else has, ask how you can better appreciate the progress you have already made. Comparison will always leave you feeling inadequate, but gratitude will always remind you that you are moving forward and that your path is unique. When you cultivate gratitude, your relationships improve as well. Expressing appreciation to those around you strengthens bonds and builds trust. Too often people assume others know they are valued, but unspoken appreciation can be forgotten. Take time to acknowledge the efforts of those in your life, whether it is a friend, a partner, a colleague, or even a stranger who offered a kind gesture. Words of gratitude not only uplift others, they reinforce your own sense of abundance by reminding you of the support and kindness you receive daily. Gratitude also impacts your physical and mental well-being. Studies show that those who practice gratitude regularly experience reduced stress, improved sleep, and greater overall happiness. This happens because gratitude reduces the focus on what is wrong and amplifies what is right. Instead of living in constant worry about what you lack, you train your body and mind to rest in a state of contentment. Contentment does not mean settling for less. It means building strength from appreciation so that you can pursue more with peace rather than desperation. A grateful mind is calm, and a calm mind makes better choices. Another important aspect of gratitude is generosity. When you are grateful, you naturally want to give. You recognize the blessings you have received, and it inspires you to share with others. This act of giving creates a cycle of abundance. The more you give, the more value you create in the lives of others, and the more opportunities return to you in unexpected ways. Generosity born from gratitude does not drain you, it enriches you because it deepens your sense of purpose and connection. To sustain gratitude, you must also learn to slow down. Life moves quickly, and constant busyness makes it easy to miss the beauty in ordinary moments. Take time to pause during your day to notice small things, the warmth of sunlight, a conversation with a loved one, or even the quiet moments when you are alone. These pauses ground you in the present and allow you to appreciate life as it is, not as you wish it to be. Gratitude is strongest in the present moment because abundance is always found here, not in a distant future. The practice of gratitude also protects you from greed and dissatisfaction. Without gratitude, no achievement or possession will ever feel like enough. You will always want more, and that endless desire will drain your energy. With gratitude, you learn to balance ambition with appreciation. You still pursue goals and growth, but you do so from a place of fulfillment, not emptiness. This balance allows you to enjoy success without being enslaved by it. True abundance is not only having more, it is being content with what you have while working for what you desire. Gratitude also sharpens your focus on opportunities. When your mind is consumed by complaints, you overlook possibilities. But when you are grateful, your perspective is open and alert. You begin to notice doors you once ignored, connections you once dismissed, and solutions you once overlooked. Gratitude sharpens vision, and vision leads to growth. The more grateful you become, the more abundant life appears, because abundance is not only about material wealth, it is about awareness of the richness already surrounding you. The beauty of gratitude is that it requires no special resources. Anyone, regardless of their situation, can practice it. You do not need wealth, status, or perfect circumstances. You only need the willingness to shift your perspective and recognize value in what you already possess. This practice is available every moment, and the more you apply it, the stronger it becomes. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more natural it feels, until appreciation becomes your default way of thinking. Gratitude is not weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to see the good when life is difficult. It takes discipline to pause and give thanks instead of complaining. And it takes wisdom to realize that abundance flows from appreciation, not from accumulation. Each day you practice gratitude, you are training your mind to live in abundance, to notice blessings, and to multiply opportunities. This mindset attracts people, resources, and possibilities because positivity and appreciation are magnetic. When you commit to gratitude, your entire life changes. You wake up with more energy, you carry yourself with more joy, and you approach challenges with greater optimism. You no longer wait for abundance to appear. You create it through appreciation. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into meaningful experiences and turns simple victories into celebrations. It builds the inner wealth that always precedes outer wealth, And once you live in this state, abundance will chase you because gratitude has made you ready to receive it. Chapter 5. Take control of emotions to make wise decisions. The strength of your future depends on your ability to master your emotions, because without control of your inner state, you cannot make decisions that lead to growth and success. Emotions are powerful forces. They can push you forward with courage or pull you back with fear. They can help you connect with others in meaningful ways or cause you to damage relationships in moments of anger. When you learn to take control of your emotions, you gain the clarity to choose wisely, to respond with purpose instead of reacting on impulse, and to create a life shaped by intention rather than by moods. Every decision you make carries consequences, and emotions are often at the root of those choices. People who act in anger, say words they regret, make promises they cannot keep, or destroy opportunities they had worked hard to build. Those who let fear dominate avoid taking risks, miss chances for growth, and end up stuck in the same place year after year. On the other hand, when you develop emotional discipline, you can pause before reacting, step back to evaluate situations clearly, and take action that aligns with your long-term vision. It is not about eliminating emotions, because emotions are natural and necessary. It is about learning how to manage them so they serve you instead of control you. The first step in taking control of your emotions is awareness. You cannot manage what you refuse to recognize. Most people are so caught up in the rush of daily life that they do not stop to notice what they are feeling until it overwhelms them. By paying attention to your emotional state, you begin to understand the triggers that lead to impulsive reactions. Is it stress from work that makes you short-tempered? Is it insecurity that causes you to withdraw? Is it excitement that pushes you into hasty decisions? Awareness gives you the power to interrupt the automatic cycle and insert choice where before there was only reaction. Once you become aware, the next step is to create space between emotion and action. This space is where wisdom lives. When something frustrates you, instead of lashing out, take a breath. When fear whispers that you cannot move forward, pause and examine whether the threat is real or imagined. This ability to step back does not come instantly. It must be practiced, but with time, it allows you to make decisions with reason and perspective, not just raw feeling. Wise choices are rarely made in haste. They are made when emotion is acknowledged, but not allowed to take the driver's seat. Self-control also means refusing to let temporary emotions decide permanent outcomes. Many people have destroyed relationships, careers, and even their health because they made choices based on fleeting moods. The moment of anger passes, but the damage remains. The moment of fear fades, but the missed opportunity cannot be recovered. The moment of excitement disappears, but the consequences of reckless action linger. Emotional maturity is the ability to understand that feelings are temporary, but decisions have lasting effects. When you hold on to this truth, you give yourself the discipline to act wisely even when emotions are intense. Taking control of your emotions also means learning to channel them productively. Emotions carry energy, and when directed with purpose, that energy can become a powerful tool. Anger can be transformed into determination to change what is unjust. Fear can be turned into preparation and focus to overcome challenges. Sadness can inspire deeper connection and empathy with others. Instead of seeing emotions as enemies, recognize them as signals pointing toward what matters. When you harness that energy instead of being consumed by it, you turn emotional intensity into strength. Decision-making requires balance between heart and mind. Pure logic without emotion can make you cold and detached, but pure emotion without logic can make you reckless. The goal is not to silence emotions, but to let them inform your decisions without overpowering them. When faced with a difficult choice, Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now, and how might this feeling be influencing me? Then, balance that awareness with reason by asking, what is the wisest action for my future? This process allows you to acknowledge your emotions while still prioritizing long-term outcomes. Another important element of mastering emotions is patience. Decisions made in haste are often decisions made in error. When you feel overwhelmed, give yourself time before responding. Step away from heated conversations, sleep on major decisions, and revisit them with a calm mind. Patience gives clarity, and clarity leads to wiser choices. The strongest people are not those who never feel emotions, but those who refuse to be rushed by them. Controlling emotions also improves your relationships. When you can manage anger, you communicate respectfully instead of hurtfully. When you can manage jealousy, you support others instead of resenting them. When you can manage pride, you admit mistakes and learn from them. Healthy relationships are built on emotional maturity because people trust those who remain steady and thoughtful instead of unpredictable and volatile. The ability to stay calm in tense situations not only strengthens bonds, but also earns respect. Your emotions are influenced by the environment you create. If you surround yourself with negativity, constant stress, or toxic people, your emotions will reflect that. If you fill your life with uplifting influences, healthy habits, and supportive relationships, you create stability that makes emotional control easier. Wise decision-making does not only come from self-discipline, but also from building conditions that support balance. Protecting your peace is a key part of mastering emotions, because clarity cannot thrive in constant chaos. One of the greatest skills in emotional control is reframing. The way you interpret events shapes your emotional response. If you see failure as proof you are not capable, you will feel discouraged. If you see failure as feedback, you will feel motivated to improve. If you see criticism as an attack, you will feel defensive. If you see it as an opportunity to grow, you will feel open and willing to learn. Reframing allows you to shift perspective, which changes your emotional response and leads to better decisions. Taking control of emotions does not mean suppressing them. Suppression only buries feelings until they resurface stronger. True control comes from acknowledging emotions, understanding them, and then choosing how to act. If you feel anger, admit it to yourself. If you feel fear, recognize it without shame. If you feel joy, allow yourself to experience it fully. By being honest with yourself, you prevent emotions from controlling you in secret. Self-awareness and honesty create the foundation for mastery. Every leader, every successful person, every individual who has created meaningful change in the world has learned to master their emotions. They have faced doubt, fear, anger, and frustration, but they did not let those emotions dictate their destiny. Instead, they trained themselves to stay calm under pressure, to think before acting, and to make decisions that align with their goals. This same ability is available to you. It is not a gift reserved for a few, it is a discipline anyone can practice. When you take control of your emotions, you gain power over your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances, and you start being a creator of outcomes. You no longer hand control of your future to fleeting feelings. You anchor it in wisdom and clarity. This does not mean you will never feel overwhelmed again, but it does mean you will face challenges with stability. Each time you choose calm over chaos, patience over impulsiveness, and wisdom over reaction, you strengthen your ability to lead your life with intention. Ultimately, mastering emotions is about freedom. Freedom from regret, because you did not act recklessly. Freedom from fear, because you refused to let it paralyze you. Freedom from guilt, because you spoke with thoughtfulness instead of cruelty. and freedom to create a life that reflects your values and vision, not your momentary moods. This freedom is the foundation of wise decision-making, and wise decisions are the building blocks of success. Chapter 6. Strengthen resilience to overcome failures and keep moving. Strength is not proven when everything goes smoothly. It is proven when you fall hard and still find the courage to rise again with determination. Life will test you in ways you cannot predict, and those tests often come disguised as failure, loss, and disappointment. No one escapes these trials, but what separates those who grow from those who give up is resilience. The ability to withstand pressure, adapt to setbacks, and keep moving forward even when the path feels impossible. Resilience is not simply about survival, it is about using every challenge as fuel to build a stronger mind, a stronger spirit, and a stronger future. Failures are inevitable. Projects collapse, opportunities slip away, relationships break, and dreams sometimes shatter. In these moments, it is easy to believe that the story is over, that you are not capable or that your efforts were wasted. But resilience teaches you that failure is not the end, it is only a turning point. When you choose to stand back up, to learn from what went wrong, and to continue pressing ahead, you transform failure into wisdom and persistence into progress. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you become harder to defeat. Resilience is built through perspective. When setbacks come, the natural response is frustration and self-doubt. Yet, if you can shift your perspective, you discover that adversity carries hidden lessons. A lost opportunity teaches patience. A broken plan sharpens creativity. A rejection strengthens determination. Instead of asking, "Why me?" resilient people ask, "What can I take from this?" This simple shift changes the weight of failure into the foundation of growth. Life's harsh moments will not feel lighter immediately, but with time they reveal themselves as stepping stones that carry you forward. Strengthening resilience also requires embracing discomfort. Growth never happens inside comfort zones. It happens when you are stretched, challenged, and pushed beyond what you thought you could handle. The person who avoids difficulty at all costs becomes fragile, easily shaken by the smallest obstacles. The person who faces challenges head-on develops toughness that cannot be broken by circumstances. Every time you deal with hardship, you prove to yourself that you can endure more than you imagined. This self-trust becomes the foundation of resilience. Another pillar of resilience is consistency in action. After a setback, the temptation is to stop, to retreat, to wait until things feel easier. But resilience is built by continuing to move forward, even if progress is slow. Momentum matters. Taking one step when you feel like giving up reinforces that you are stronger than the challenge in front of you. Discipline in the face of difficulty is not about ignoring pain, it is about refusing to let pain define your actions. By showing up day after day, you keep your dreams alive and prevent failure from becoming permanent. Resilient people also understand the importance of patience. Many failures are not signs that you are incapable, but simply that timing has not yet aligned. Great things often require more time than you planned, more effort than you expected, and more persistence than you thought possible. Patience allows you to hold on when others quit. It helps you endure the frustration of delay without losing sight of the bigger vision. When you accept that progress takes time, setbacks no longer feel like roadblocks, they feel like part of the journey. A critical aspect of resilience is self-belief. Without belief in your ability to recover, you will surrender when difficulties arise. Belief does not mean ignoring reality. It means trusting that you can figure things out, even when the path ahead is unclear. Doubt will always appear, but you strengthen resilience by choosing faith over fear. When you remind yourself of challenges you have already survived, you build confidence in your ability to survive the next one. Belief is not arrogance. It is the quiet strength that whispers, "I will endure this, and I will rise stronger." Resilience is also nourished by supportive relationships. No one overcomes failure entirely alone. Encouragement from mentors, friends, or family provides perspective when your vision becomes clouded by discouragement. People who believe in you remind you of your strength when you forget it yourself. Resilience does not mean isolation. It means surrounding yourself with those who lift you higher and offering the same support to others when they face trials. The strength of a community often becomes the anchor that keeps you steady during storms. To strengthen resilience, you must also care for your physical and mental health. Exhaustion magnifies setbacks, making challenges feel heavier than they are. When you neglect your body, small problems feel overwhelming. But when you fuel your body with rest, exercise, and nourishment, you have greater energy to confront adversity. Likewise, when you train your mind with calm practices like reflection or meditation, you remain steady under pressure. Resilience is not only a mental skill, it is supported by how you treat your whole self. Every setback carries the temptation to quit, but resilience teaches you that quitting guarantees defeat, while persistence keeps the door open for eventual success. History is full of people who failed countless times before achieving breakthroughs. They were not spared from struggle. They simply refused to allow failure to be the final word. Their resilience carried them through rejection after rejection until success became unavoidable. The same principle applies to your life. If you keep moving, the possibility of victory remains alive. Resilience is not about pretending that pain does not exist. It is about feeling the weight of disappointment, accepting it, and then choosing to act anyway. Denying pain does not make you strong. Facing it and moving forward in spite of it does. Tears, frustration, and doubt are part of the journey, but resilience is the decision to keep going even while carrying them. Strength is not found in the absence of struggle. It is forged through the process of walking forward with struggle in hand. Resilient people also know how to adapt. Failure often signals that something in the plan needs adjustment, not abandonment. Instead of repeating the same actions and expecting different results, they study what went wrong, learn from it, and approach the challenge with a new strategy. Adaptability keeps resilience from becoming stubbornness. It ensures that your persistence is intelligent, not blind. Flexibility in thinking allows you to find solutions even when the original path has collapsed. The beauty of resilience is that it compounds. Every time you survive a challenge, you add strength for the next one. Every time you recover from a failure, you expand your capacity to endure. Over time, you stop fearing difficulties because you trust your ability to navigate them. Challenges that once would have broken you now become manageable, even motivating. The more you practice resilience, the less power failure has over you. In the end, resilience is about refusing to let setbacks define your destiny. Failure may shape your journey, but it does not determine your final destination unless you allow it to. Every obstacle carries a choice: surrender or strength. Each time you choose strength, you reclaim control over your life. You show yourself and the world that you cannot be stopped by disappointment, rejection, or defeat. You keep moving, and by moving, you keep growing. Strengthening resilience does not guarantee an easy life, but it guarantees a meaningful one. You will still face challenges, but instead of breaking under their weight, you will rise because of them. You will discover a depth of courage you did not know you had, and that courage will carry you through storms into brighter days. Failures will no longer feel like dead ends. They will feel like temporary detours, guiding you toward a stronger self. With resilience, every setback becomes a stepping stone, and every step forward becomes proof of your unshakable spirit. Chapter 7. Visualize goals to drive action and personal progress. Everything you will ever build in your life begins first as a picture in your mind, and that picture is the seed that drives your actions and determines your progress. When you learn to visualize your goals with clarity and intensity, you give your mind a target so strong that it begins to influence your daily behavior, your decisions, and your habits in ways that align with what you want to achieve. Without vision, effort becomes scattered and inconsistent, but with a clear mental image of where you are going, every action has purpose and every step becomes part of a greater direction. Visualization is more than daydreaming. It is the conscious act of creating a detailed mental picture of the outcome you want to achieve, combined with the emotions of already living that reality. When you visualize with focus, your brain begins to work as if that future is already in progress. This mental rehearsal prepares you to act with confidence, because you have already lived the success in your mind before experiencing it in the real world. Athletes use it to improve performance, leaders use it to shape vision, and individuals use it to move from where they are to where they want to be. The human mind thrives on images. Words are powerful, but it is pictures that leave the deepest imprint. When you close your eyes and imagine yourself delivering a successful presentation, completing a challenging project, or living with the financial freedom you desire, you activate your brain to search for ways to make it possible. Visualization trains your subconscious to work with your conscious efforts, turning vague hopes into specific objectives. The more vivid the mental image, the more your mind begins to believe it, and belief is what turns possibility into reality. Clarity is the foundation of effective visualization. You cannot create momentum toward a blurry picture. Saying you want success is not enough. You must define what success looks like in detail. What do you see when you imagine it? What does your environment look like? How does it feel to live in that reality? The sharper the image, the stronger the pull it has on your actions. Vague goals create vague results, but a clear vision pulls you forward like a magnet, guiding you toward the life you have chosen to design. Visualization must also be paired with action. Simply imagining a better life without moving toward it leads to frustration, not progress. The purpose of visualizing is to program your mind for action. When you consistently picture your goals, you naturally begin to take steps that align with them. You say no to distractions more easily. You pursue opportunities that fit your vision, and you maintain motivation even when progress is slow. The mental image becomes your compass, and your daily actions are the steps that bring the picture into reality. Another powerful element of visualization is attaching emotion to the image. It is not enough to see your goal. You must feel it. When you imagine achieving your dream, allow yourself to feel the pride, the joy, and the freedom that come with it. Emotion gives energy to the vision, and energy drives persistence. Without emotion, a goal remains a concept. With emotion, it becomes a force that pushes you forward even on difficult days. When you combine vision with feeling, you create a state of certainty that fuels continuous progress. Visualization also builds confidence. Many people hesitate to act because they fear the unknown. But when you have already seen yourself succeed in your mind, the unknown feels familiar. You no longer approach challenges as if they are impossible. You approach them with the quiet assurance of someone who has rehearsed victory over and over again. Each time you visualize, you train your brain to see success as normal, not as a rare event. This confidence shortens hesitation and strengthens action. The practice of visualization is most effective when it becomes a daily discipline. Spending a few minutes every morning and evening imagining your goals reinforces them deeply. Consistency keeps the vision fresh and powerful, preventing it from being drowned out by daily distractions. When you make visualization a routine, it becomes part of your identity. You are no longer just someone who hopes for change. You are someone who is living with intention, shaping each day around a future you have already chosen. Visualization also helps in overcoming setbacks. When challenges arise, it is easy to forget why you started and to lose momentum. But when you have a strong mental image of your destination, obstacles lose their power to stop you. Instead of seeing failure as permanent, you see it as temporary because your vision is still alive. The picture in your mind reminds you that the journey is not over and that difficulties are simply steps along the way. This perspective fuels resilience and determination. It is important to ground visualization in reality by breaking large visions into smaller milestones. When you only focus on the distant outcome, it can feel overwhelming. But when you break it into smaller pictures, completing one task, reaching one stage, mastering one skill, you make progress feel achievable. Each milestone reached reinforces belief, and each step forward strengthens motivation. Visualization should not only be about the final achievement, but also about the progress along the journey. Surrounding yourself with physical reminders of your visions strengthens the process. Images on a vision board, affirmations written on paper, or even symbols placed in your environment can reinforce the mental pictures you hold inside. These reminders serve as anchors, pulling you back to focus when distractions arise. The more your vision is integrated into your daily environment, the more it stays at the front of your mind, guiding your decisions and actions. Another crucial element is alignment. Your vision must align with your values and your true desires, not what others expect of you. If you visualize goals that do not reflect who you are, your motivation will fade. But when your vision matches your core beliefs, the energy to pursue it becomes natural. Authentic goals are easier to sustain because you are not chasing approval, you are chasing fulfillment. The clearer you are about why the vision matters to you, the stronger your commitment will be. Visualization also sharpens focus by filtering out distractions. When you carry a strong picture of your goal, you naturally recognize what contributes to it and what pulls you away. This awareness allows you to make wiser choices with your time and energy. Many people struggle with focus because they lack vision. But when you know exactly what you are aiming for, distractions lose their appeal. The picture of your desired future becomes more attractive than any temporary pleasure. When visualization is practiced with consistency, detail, emotion, and action, it transforms your mindset. You no longer drift through life, reacting to circumstances. You become a creator, shaping your own direction. Progress no longer feels accidental, it feels intentional. You begin to notice opportunities that align with your vision, and you develop the courage to pursue them because you already see yourself living that reality. The greatest transformations in life do not happen by chance, they happen by design. And design begins with vision. The picture you hold in your mind today shapes the life you will experience tomorrow. If you want personal progress, if you want to drive action with purpose, you must first take control of the images you allow yourself to focus on. Do not leave your vision vague or undefined. Paint it with detail, fuel it with emotion, reinforce it with daily discipline, and bring it to life through consistent action. The truth is simple: your mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. Use this truth to your advantage. Give your brain a vision so clear and so consistent that it becomes reality not just in your imagination, but in your daily life. The world belongs to those who see it first within themselves. When you visualize with clarity and act with persistence, progress is inevitable. Chapter 8. Prioritize learning to gain knowledge and practical skills. The fastest way to change your life is to commit yourself to learning every single day, because knowledge and skills are the true currency that determine how far you can go. The moment you decide that growth is more valuable than comfort, everything around you begins to shift. Opportunities that once felt out of reach become possible when you carry the knowledge to understand them and the skills to act on them. Success is never about luck. It is about being prepared when the moment arrives, and preparation is built through continuous learning. The world moves quickly, and those who stop learning quickly fall behind. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow, and the people who thrive are the ones who are willing to keep updating themselves. Learning keeps your mind sharp, your confidence strong, and your abilities relevant. Every book you read, every course you take, every conversation where you listen more than you speak is an investment in your future. It does not matter where you are starting from. What matters is whether you are willing to make learning a priority. When you embrace learning as a way of life, you stop fearing change. Most people resist change because they don't feel ready for it. But if you are constantly developing new skills, you see change as an opportunity rather than a threat. You welcome challenges because you have equipped yourself to handle them. You stop waiting for someone else to show you the way, and instead build the knowledge that allows you to create your own path. This is how ordinary people transform into leaders, by developing the ability to adapt, to solve problems, and to turn information into action. Practical skills are just as important as knowledge. Reading and studying give you the foundation, but skills turn theory into results. For example, learning about communication is valuable, but practicing how to speak clearly, how to listen deeply, and how to express your ideas in a way that inspires others is what changes your life. Knowledge without application remains unused potential, but when you add practice to what you've learned, you create competence, and competence leads to confidence. The pursuit of knowledge is not about collecting facts. It is about becoming capable. The more capable you are, the more independent you become. You no longer wait for someone else to solve problems for you. You develop the ability to solve them yourself. That independence builds self-respect, and self-respect builds momentum. When you know you can learn anything you need, you stop feeling limited. You stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" That shift in mindset is one of the greatest advantages learning gives you. Another powerful aspect of learning is that it compounds. Every new piece of knowledge builds on what you already know. Each skill you acquire strengthens the next. Over time, the growth multiplies, and suddenly you find yourself capable of things you never imagined. Many people underestimate this compounding effect because it happens gradually, but years of consistent learning create an enormous advantage. While others remain stuck at the same level, you keep rising because you refuse to stop growing. Learning also protects you from stagnation. Life feels heavy and uninspiring when you stop challenging your mind. When you are not learning, you are repeating the same experiences over and over again, and progress becomes impossible. But when you are learning, even small things feel exciting, because your brain is engaged. You are expanding your world, and expansion always brings energy. The more you learn, the more alive you feel, because you are constantly discovering new ways to think, to act, and to live. You must also be intentional about what you learn. Not all information is valuable, and not all knowledge applies to your life. Choose wisely. Focus on areas that strengthen your goals, that improve your ability to act, that expand your opportunities. Don't waste time memorizing facts that do not move you forward. Instead, master the skills that give you freedom: financial literacy, communication, discipline, adaptability, leadership, and the technical abilities that connect directly to your vision. When you learn with purpose, you create results that matter. Learning also humbles you. The more you study, the more you realize how much you don't know. This humility keeps your ego in check and keeps you hungry for growth. Many people stop learning because they think they already know enough, but that arrogance locks them into mediocrity. True learners never stop asking questions, never stop seeking answers, and never assume they've reached the peak. They understand that mastery is a journey, not a finish line. If you want to accelerate your progress, surround yourself with people who value learning. The environment you choose will shape your appetite for growth. Being around curious, driven people forces you to raise your own standards. Conversations with them become lessons, and their examples push you to keep improving. On the other hand, if you spend time with people who never challenge themselves, their habits will quietly pull you backward. Protect your growth by choosing to be in environments where learning is celebrated, not ignored. Make learning a discipline, not an occasional activity. Read every day, take notes when you discover something new, apply lessons immediately, and reflect on what works and what doesn't. Even 15 minutes a day adds up to hundreds of hours a year. Imagine how different your life would look after 5 years of consistent, focused learning. While most people waste time scrolling through distractions, you could be building a future equipped with knowledge and skills that separate you from the crowd. The truth is, every breakthrough in your life will come after you've learned something new. Every promotion, every opportunity, every achievement is tied to knowledge you gained and skills you developed. Learning is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. You cannot cross that bridge without effort, but every step you take on it makes the next step easier. Eventually, what once felt impossible becomes natural, simply because you invested the time to learn. Commit yourself to being a student for life. Refuse to let your age, your background, or your current situation limit you. As long as you are breathing, you can keep learning, and as long as you are learning, you can keep improving. Life rewards those who are prepared, and preparation comes from the discipline of learning. The more you grow in knowledge and skills, the more doors you can open, and the more valuable you become to yourself, to others, and to the world around you. So do not let a single day pass without learning something that strengthens your future. Treat your mind as the most powerful tool you have and sharpen it relentlessly. Make learning your daily fuel, because it will give you the wisdom to make better choices and the skills to turn choices into results. If you want progress, if you want freedom, if you want success that lasts, then prioritize learning above all else. It is the one investment that never fails, and the one commitment that guarantees growth. Chapter 9. Act decisively to turn ideas into real achievements. The difference between people who dream and people who achieve is the courage to act quickly and decisively before doubt steals their momentum. Ideas have no value unless they are turned into reality, and reality is shaped by action. Many people spend their lives planning, overthinking, and waiting for the perfect moment, but the truth is the perfect moment never arrives. What creates success is the ability to act with clarity and determination, even when uncertainty is present. Every achievement begins with a single step taken without hesitation. When you choose to act decisively, you send a signal to your mind that you trust yourself. Hesitation weakens confidence, but bold action strengthens it. The more you train yourself to make decisions and follow through, the easier it becomes to move forward. Waiting often leads to missed opportunities, but movement creates possibilities. Success does not favor the one who thinks endlessly. It favors the one who executes. A decision backed by immediate action has more power than 1,000 ideas left on paper. One of the greatest traps people fall into is the search for certainty. They tell themselves they will act once they know every detail, once they feel completely ready, once they have more knowledge or resources. But certainty is an illusion. Every breakthrough requires stepping into the unknown and learning along the way. The key is not to wait until you feel ready, but to act so that you become ready. By deciding and moving forward, you gather experience, and experience brings the clarity you were waiting for. Acting decisively does not mean acting recklessly. It means committing to your choice and putting energy behind it without delay. A clear decision followed by consistent execution has the power to transform your life. Every time you take action, you build momentum, and momentum multiplies results. Small wins lead to bigger wins, and with each step you prove to yourself that progress is possible. The habit of decisive action creates a rhythm that keeps you moving forward even when challenges appear. Think about how many brilliant ideas never see the light of day because someone hesitated. How many inventions, businesses, and solutions were lost because their creators doubted themselves. The world does not reward ideas, it rewards execution. The people who change their lives and influence others are not the ones who only talk about what they want. They are the ones who turn those desires into measurable steps. Every time you choose to act instead of waiting, you separate yourself from the crowd. Acting decisively also frees you from the weight of indecision. Indecision drains your energy, keeps you stuck, and creates anxiety. When you are unsure and constantly delaying, your mind becomes restless. But when you decide and act, your energy shifts. You stop carrying the burden of uncertainty and start experiencing the relief of progress. Even if the action is small, it creates movement, and movement always feels lighter than being stuck. The discipline of decisive action teaches you that mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. People who hesitate often do so because they are afraid of making the wrong choice. But mistakes are part of the process. Every great achiever has acted without having all the answers and has learned by adjusting along the way. By acting, you gain information that you could never get from thinking alone. You learn what works, what doesn't, and how to refine your approach. Without action, growth is impossible. When you practice decisive action, you also develop trust in your intuition. Your mind gathers knowledge and experience over time, and when you listen to it and act, you strengthen your ability to make quicker, smarter choices. Confidence comes from acting, not waiting. The more you trust yourself to move, the more resilient you become in the face of challenges. You stop second-guessing and start building a pattern of decisions that move you closer to your goals. Decisive action also inspires others. People respect those who commit, who follow through, and who are not afraid to take steps toward their vision. When you act boldly, you set an example for those around you. You create influence, not by your words, but by your actions. This influence can attract opportunities, support, and partnerships that would never come to someone who only talks. Your ability to decide and act makes you a magnet for progress and leadership. To build this habit, you must train yourself daily. Start by making small decisions quickly and acting on them without delay. Build the muscle of follow-through. Each time you do, you strengthen the part of you that values action over hesitation. Over time, this becomes second nature, and when big decisions come, you will already have the discipline to act. The more you practice, the less fear controls you. Instead of worrying about what could go wrong, you focus on what you can make happen. The truth is, life rewards speed. The faster you take action, the sooner you learn, adapt, and achieve. Opportunities are often fleeting, and only those who move quickly are able to seize them. This does not mean rushing blindly, but it does mean refusing to delay unnecessarily. The most successful people are those who see an opportunity, decide, and act, while others are still debating. That advantage of speed compounds over time, leading to greater success. Acting decisively also keeps you aligned with your goals. When you know what you want and you take action toward it, you create a clear path. Without action, goals remain distant dreams. But when you consistently act, you close the gap between intention and achievement. Each decision and each step builds a bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be. Your life is shaped not by what you imagine, but by what you do. The habit of decisive action also protects you from regret. One of the greatest pains in life is looking back and realizing you could have acted but didn't. Opportunities missed rarely return in the same form. But when you act boldly, even if you stumble, you gain experience and growth that lead to future opportunities. Acting decisively ensures that you live with progress, not with regret. You can always adjust a decision you make, but you cannot recover time wasted in hesitation. Every dream requires action. Every idea requires movement. Every goal requires decisions, followed by execution. You cannot talk your way into success. You must act your way into it. The moment you feel inspired, decide to take the first step immediately. Do not wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes never. Progress belongs to those who act today, who use the energy of the moment to build something real. So decide right now that you will no longer be someone who waits endlessly for the right time. Decide to be the person who acts, who moves, who learns, who grows, and who achieves. Trust yourself enough to step forward, even when you don't know every answer. Choose action over hesitation, movement over doubt, and progress over perfection. If you want to turn ideas into reality, you must become someone who acts decisively, because that is the only way dreams transform into achievements. Chapter 10. Build confidence by taking small, bold daily steps. Confidence is not something you wait to feel before you act. It is something you build through small, bold steps taken every single day. Too many people sit back waiting for the feeling of confidence to arrive before they make a move. But the truth is, confidence is born from movement, from doing, from proving to yourself that you are capable. Every day presents an opportunity to grow stronger, to take one more step forward, and to show yourself that you can handle more than you once believed. The secret is not in waiting for massive breakthroughs, but in taking small actions that stretch your courage just a little at a time. Think about how a child learns to walk. They do not suddenly sprint across the room. They wobble, they fall, they take a step, and then another, and each time they get stronger until walking becomes natural. Confidence works the same way. The boldness you want is not achieved in one leap. It is shaped by steady daily actions that prove to your mind and body that you can trust yourself. Each small, bold step becomes a deposit in the bank of self-belief, and over time that account grows so large that doubt no longer controls you. One of the reasons people fail to build confidence is because they try to wait for perfection before acting. They think they must have everything figured out, every answer prepared, every weakness eliminated before they can move. But that approach only keeps them stuck. Confidence does not come from knowing everything. It comes from trying even when you do not. It comes from showing up even when you feel uncertain. The act of stepping forward despite discomfort is what creates real growth. Start by identifying one small, bold action you can take today. It could be speaking up when you would normally stay silent, making a decision you have been postponing, or starting something you have been overthinking. These may look small on the surface, but they carry power because they stretch your comfort zone. Each bold step may seem minor in isolation, but the compound effect is extraordinary. Over weeks and months, you will look back and realize that you no longer hesitate the way you once did. The process is simple. Action builds evidence, and evidence builds confidence. When you act boldly, you collect proof that you can do more than you thought. That proof silences doubt, and with each repetition, your trust in yourself expands. This is why daily action matters so much, because confidence fades without reinforcement. You cannot build lasting self-belief from one bold act and then stop. It must be nurtured through consistent small wins that stack up until they become your identity. Many people misunderstand confidence as a personality trait, as if it is something some people are born with and others are not. In reality, confidence is a skill. Like any skill, it is built through practice and repetition. Just as muscles grow through regular exercise, confidence grows through repeated bold choices. If you have lived most of your life doubting yourself, it simply means your confidence muscle has not been trained enough. The good news is that it can be strengthened at any age and at any stage of life. Small, bold steps are powerful because they are manageable. When you attempt to make massive leaps all at once, you often become overwhelmed and retreat. But when you break your growth into small actions, you create progress that feels achievable. The key is to consistently stretch yourself just beyond your current limit. That slight discomfort is where growth lives. Over time, what once felt impossible will become natural, and your sense of capability will rise with it. Boldness also requires you to stop measuring yourself against others. Confidence comes from comparing yourself only to your past self. Did you grow today? Did you do something you would not have done a month ago? That is progress, and that progress is proof that you are evolving. Looking at others only distracts you, because everyone is on a different timeline. Your confidence should be built on your journey, not someone else's path. One of the simplest ways to practice small, bold steps is through daily habits. Set yourself a challenge to do one thing every day that feels slightly uncomfortable. It could be exercising when you want to skip, starting a conversation with someone new, tackling a task you normally avoid, or practicing a skill you want to master. These daily actions, though small, accumulate into powerful growth. The more you do, the more natural it becomes to take action in bigger areas of your life. It is also important to celebrate each step you take. Confidence grows when you acknowledge your progress. Too often people minimize their efforts, telling themselves that their actions are too small to matter. But everything counts. The step you take today becomes the foundation for the step you take tomorrow. Recognizing your wins reinforces your identity as someone who acts boldly, and this reinforcement strengthens your willingness to keep going. Another key to building confidence is accepting that failure is part of the process. Bold steps will not always lead to immediate success, but they will always lead to growth. When you stumble, it is not evidence that you are incapable, it is evidence that you are learning. Confidence is not built by avoiding failure, it is built by facing it and continuing anyway. Every failure faced with courage adds to your strength and resilience. Confidence also grows when you keep promises to yourself. Every time you decide to take a bold step and follow through, you send a message to your mind that you are reliable. When you break those promises, doubt grows stronger. This is why consistency matters so much, because confidence is based on trust, and trust is built by repeated actions. The more you prove to yourself that you can depend on your word, the more powerful your self-belief becomes. Small, bold daily steps also train your brain to focus on solutions rather than problems. Instead of being paralyzed by what could go wrong, you start asking, "What can I do now?" That question shifts your energy from fear to action. Over time, this mindset becomes automatic. You stop being controlled by hesitation and start moving forward with clarity. That shift alone can change the entire direction of your life. The beauty of building confidence through small steps is that anyone can do it. You do not need extraordinary resources or talent. You only need the willingness to act when it would be easier to stay still. That willingness separates those who stay stuck from those who grow. Every time you choose action, you are building a future version of yourself who is stronger, braver, and more capable than the one who hesitates. Confidence built through daily boldness also prepares you for bigger challenges. When larger opportunities or obstacles come your way, you will not shrink back because you have already trained yourself to act. The foundation you built through small, consistent steps gives you the strength to face bigger tests with courage. Without that foundation, big moments often feel overwhelming. But with it, they become the natural next step in your growth. The journey of building confidence is lifelong. There will always be new challenges, new fears, and new opportunities. But once you commit to the practice of small, bold daily steps, you will never again be controlled by doubt. You will have a process that ensures you keep growing no matter what comes your way. Confidence will stop being something you wish for and become something you live. So take one bold step today. Do not wait until you feel ready, because readiness comes from action. Do not underestimate the power of small decisions, because they shape your destiny. Trust yourself enough to move forward, even if the step feels uncomfortable. Each step you take builds strength. Each action builds belief, and each choice builds confidence. Over time, those steps create a life of courage, resilience, and unstoppable momentum. Chapter 11. Expand your network to create opportunities and partnerships. Opportunities often come not just from what you know, but from who you know and how deeply you connect with them, because relationships are doors to growth, collaboration, and success. No one achieves greatness alone, and those who rise to the top understand that surrounding themselves with strong networks opens pathways that would never appear if they stayed isolated. Every person you meet carries knowledge, skills, and connections that can change your direction, and when you build genuine relationships, you multiply the chances of growth for yourself and others. Expanding your network is not about collecting contacts, it is about cultivating trust, respect, and mutual value. The first step to expanding your network is to step outside of your comfort zone. Many people limit themselves to their small circle and miss out on opportunities because they fear rejection or feel they have nothing to offer. But growth requires stepping forward and engaging with new people. Every time you introduce yourself, every time you start a conversation, you are creating the possibility of a new path. Waiting for connections to come to you keeps you stuck, but actively seeking to meet others creates endless possibilities. True networking is about giving before receiving. When you meet someone, think about how you can add value to their life. It could be sharing knowledge, offering support, or simply listening with genuine interest. People are drawn to those who care, not those who only want something in return. By becoming someone who contributes, you naturally attract others who want to work with you. Opportunities are built on trust, and trust begins with generosity. Partnerships grow from consistency and authenticity. It is not enough to meet someone once, you must nurture the relationship. That means staying in touch, showing appreciation, and following through on your word. The more reliable you are, the stronger your reputation becomes. People want to work with those they can count on, and every interaction either strengthens or weakens that trust. Building a strong network is not about speed, but about depth, and depth comes from showing up consistently. Expanding your network also requires courage to approach those who inspire you. Too often, people convince themselves that successful individuals are unreachable. But the truth is, most people are open to connecting if you show respect and genuine interest. A thoughtful message, a clear question, or an expression of admiration can open doors you never thought possible. The key is not to approach with desperation, but with curiosity and sincerity. When people sense authenticity, they are more likely to engage. Networking also thrives on diversity. If you only surround yourself with people who think like you, act like you, and work in the same field, your growth will be limited. Expand your connections across industries, backgrounds, and perspectives. The more variety you have in your network, the more creative opportunities you will uncover. Innovation often comes from combining ideas from different worlds, and diverse relationships give you access to insights you would never find alone. One of the most overlooked aspects of building networks is listening. Many people think networking means talking about themselves, but the most powerful connections come when you listen deeply. People remember how you made them feel, and when you make them feel heard, they are more likely to value the relationship. Listening shows respect, and respect is the foundation of any meaningful partnership. By paying attention to what others care about, you create bonds that last. Your network also grows through consistency in your actions and character. Word spreads quickly about who you are and how you treat people. If you show integrity, respect, and reliability, your reputation will expand beyond your immediate circle. People will recommend you, introduce you to others, and open doors on your behalf. This ripple effect is one of the most powerful aspects of networking. You do not always know who is speaking your name in rooms you have never entered, but your actions create that influence. To build partnerships, you must also embrace patience. Not every connection will bring immediate results, but that does not mean it is unimportant. Sometimes the value of a relationship appears years later when timing aligns. Every person you meet has potential, and even if nothing comes of it today, the seeds you plant may grow in ways you cannot predict. Patience in building connections ensures that you do not discard people simply because they do not bring instant benefits. The digital world has made networking more accessible than ever, but it requires intention. Reaching out online is powerful, but it must be genuine. Empty connections do not bring opportunities. Instead, focus on quality interactions, share insights, support others' work, and show that you care beyond your own interests. Use technology as a tool to expand, but remember that real partnerships are built on human connection, not numbers on a screen. Expanding your network also sharpens your communication skills. Every interaction is a chance to practice clarity, kindness, and confidence. The more you engage, the better you become at expressing your ideas and understanding others. These skills not only strengthen your relationships, but also prepare you for leadership. People are drawn to those who communicate with honesty and strength, and your ability to connect through words will determine how far your influence can reach. Surrounding yourself with ambitious and disciplined people also raises your own standards. The people in your network influence your mindset, your habits, and your decisions. If you stay close to those who strive for more, you will naturally be pulled in the same direction. This is why being intentional about your connections matters so much. Every person you spend time with either pulls you down or lifts you higher. Choose to build a network that challenges you to grow. Expanding your network also means being bold enough to remove toxic connections. Not every relationship deserves to be nurtured. If someone consistently drains your energy, disrespects your values, or holds you back, distance yourself. Protecting your environment is as important as expanding it. The strength of your network depends not only on who you add, but also on who you release. Practical networking also involves preparation. Know what you want to achieve and be clear about your goals. This clarity makes it easier to recognize who can support your journey and how you can support theirs. Without direction, you risk wasting energy in shallow connections. With purpose, every interaction becomes meaningful. Finally, expanding your network is not about creating a list of people. It is about building a community. A strong community provides support in hard times, celebrates your victories, and opens doors you could never open alone. When you build such a network, you realize that success is not a solo journey. Every opportunity, every partnership, every achievement is connected to the relationships you nurture along the way. So choose today to step forward and expand your circle. Introduce yourself, reach out, listen deeply, and give generously. Build relationships that are real, not transactional. Protect your integrity, be consistent, and value every person you meet. Over time, your network will not only create opportunities and partnerships, but also transform the way you live and lead. When you expand your connections with sincerity and courage, you discover that the world is full of doors waiting for you to open them. Chapter 12. Invest time wisely to multiply personal and financial growth. Every moment of your life is an investment, and the way you choose to spend your time determines whether you grow stronger, wealthier, and wiser, or remain stuck where you are. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever own, because once it slips away, it can never be replaced. Unlike money, you cannot earn more hours. Unlike possessions, you cannot hold on to it for later. You either use it wisely or watch it vanish without return. Those who rise above average understand that managing time with precision is the foundation of both personal progress and financial freedom. When you invest time with intention, you multiply your results far beyond what effort alone can produce. The truth is that two people can work the same number of hours, yet one creates lasting success while the other remains frustrated. The difference lies not in how much time they have, but in how they direct it. Wasting hours on distractions, gossip, or meaningless tasks destroys potential. Using hours to build skills, create value, and strengthen opportunities produces growth that compounds year after year. The secret to advancement is not found in having more time, it is found in choosing how to use the time already in your hands. The first step to using time wisely is clarity. If you do not know what you want, your hours will scatter in all directions. When your goals are vague, your schedule fills with activities that keep you busy but not productive. But when you know exactly where you want to go, every hour becomes a building block toward that vision. Clarity sharpens focus, and focus turns minutes into progress. Each day, you must ask yourself, is what I am doing moving me forward or holding me still? The discipline of asking that question saves you from years of wasted energy. Another key to multiplying your time is prioritization. Not all activities are equal. Some tasks create small temporary results, while others shape the entire direction of your life. The skill of identifying which actions matter most will transform your growth. For example, spending an hour scrolling through distractions produces nothing. Spending that same hour studying a new skill, making an important connection, or working on a meaningful project builds momentum that pays dividends for years. Every choice you make with your time either costs you or compounds for you. One of the greatest secrets to both personal and financial growth is the ability to focus deeply. Most people scatter their time across dozens of shallow activities, never giving enough attention to master anything. But those who discipline themselves to focus create breakthroughs. A single hour of deep, uninterrupted work can be worth more than an entire day of scattered effort. Focus multiplies results because it allows you to finish what others only start. It turns ideas into reality and separates achievers from dreamers. Time should also be invested into building habits, because habits remove the need for constant decision-making. When you create routines that support growth, you free your mind to focus on higher-level thinking. For example, if you develop the habit of exercising daily, reading consistently, or managing your finances regularly, You no longer waste energy deciding whether to do these things. Habits turn wise use of time into a natural rhythm, and that rhythm compounds over months and years until the results are undeniable. Another way to multiply your time is to align it with your strength. Too many people waste years forcing themselves into activities that do not match their natural abilities. While it is important to challenge yourself, it is also wise to spend most of your hours where you bring the greatest value. When you align your time with your talents, progress feels smoother and growth accelerates. The more value you create, the more opportunities and income naturally flow toward you. But investing time wisely is not only about what you do, it is also about what you avoid. Every distraction, every meaningless commitment, every negative influence steals hours that could have been used to advance your goals. You must be ruthless in protecting your time from those who waste it. That means learning to say no without guilt, limiting exposure to environments that drain you, and refusing to be pulled into cycles of procrastination. Protecting your time is as important as using it. If you allow others to control your hours, you surrender control of your future. To multiply financial growth, you must dedicate time to learning how money works. Financial success is rarely about luck. It is about knowledge, discipline, and consistent action. Those who spend time studying investments, developing financial literacy, and practicing smart decision-making build wealth over time. Instead of chasing quick rewards, they understand that wise use of time compounds just like money does. Every moment spent learning about money increases your ability to create and manage it effectively. It is also important to invest time in relationships that elevate your growth. Surrounding yourself with ambitious, disciplined, and forward-thinking people saves you years of struggle. Their insights, encouragement, and connections accelerate your progress in ways you could never achieve alone. On the other hand, spending time with negative, aimless, or toxic people slows you down and traps you in cycles of mediocrity. Every relationship you nurture is either an investment or a liability to your growth. Time invested in self-reflection is equally powerful. Taking moments to evaluate your choices, measure your progress, and adjust your direction prevents you from drifting aimlessly. Many people waste years simply because they never stop to think about where their actions are leading. Reflection gives you the power to course correct early, saving you from wasted effort. It allows you to learn from mistakes quickly, instead of repeating them endlessly. In silence and reflection, you gain clarity that multiplies the value of every future decision. To make the most of your time, you must also respect the compounding effect of small actions. Major achievements are not the result of one big effort, but of consistent daily steps. Reading 20 minutes a day, saving a small amount regularly, practicing a skill for half an hour each evening. These actions seem small in the moment, but transform your life over years. The wise understand that consistency with time is more powerful than intensity for a short burst. Small, smart actions compounded daily multiply into extraordinary results. Another critical principle is aligning your time with long-term vision instead of short-term gratification. Many people trade hours for pleasures that vanish quickly while neglecting actions that create lasting rewards. Watching endless entertainment, indulging in constant distractions, or chasing quick thrills might feel good in the moment but rob you of future strength. Investing those same hours in health, education, and meaningful work builds a life that grows stronger every year. The discipline to choose long-term rewards over short-term comfort separates those who rise from those who stagnate. Time also needs to be balanced. Investing time wisely does not mean filling every hour with work. Rest, recovery, and moments of renewal are also investments because they give you the energy to perform at your highest level. Without balance, you burn out, and wasted energy destroys progress just as much as wasted hours. Sleep, exercise, and moments of stillness are not indulgences, they are strategic uses of time that fuel greater achievement. Ultimately, multiplying your personal and financial growth comes down to treating time as the most precious currency you own. You cannot afford to spend it carelessly because every wasted hour is gone forever. But when you use it with clarity, focus, discipline, and consistency, time becomes your greatest ally. Each hour compounds, each habit builds, each relationship strengthens, and each decision creates momentum. So, take control of your hours today. Eliminate what drains you, prioritize what builds you, and commit to using time as a tool for growth. Build skills, create value, strengthen relationships, and expand your knowledge. Protect your focus, embrace consistency, and align your actions with your vision. If you master your time, you master your life. Because time invested wisely multiplies into progress, prosperity, and lasting fulfillment. Chapter 13. Challenge limiting beliefs to unlock hidden mental power. Your mind has no limits until you place limits on it, and the truth is that most people live far below their potential because of the beliefs they carry about what is possible for them. Limiting beliefs are not facts, they are old stories you keep repeating to yourself until they feel real. These stories may come from past failures, childhood experiences, or the opinions of others, but if you allow them to rule your thinking, they control your life. The first step to unlocking hidden mental power is recognizing that the voice of doubt is not truth. It is just a habit of thought that can be broken. Every belief you hold either strengthens you or weakens you. If you believe you are capable, you take bold action. If you believe you are not enough, you hold back and miss opportunities. Many people sabotage their own growth because they think things like, "I'm not smart enough, I don't have the resources," or "people like me can't succeed." These are not facts, they are cages, and the moment you challenge them, you start to see that you are capable of much more than you have allowed yourself to believe. To challenge a limiting belief, you must first expose it. Pay attention to the thoughts that come up when you are about to take action. Do you hear yourself saying, "What if I fail?" or "I'm not ready"? Do you immediately assume that success is for others but not for you? These thoughts are the signals of hidden beliefs. Write them down and bring them into the open, because you cannot defeat what you refuse to face. Awareness turns the invisible barrier into something you can confront. Once you identify a limiting belief, you must question it with courage. Ask yourself, where did this belief come from? Is it based on evidence or just fear? What proof do I actually have that this is true? In most cases, you will find there is no solid proof at all. You are simply repeating something you accepted long ago without ever examining it. The moment you start questioning, the belief begins to lose its grip. After questioning, replace the belief with one that empowers you. If your mind tells you, "I can't do this," shift it to, "I can learn how to do this." If your belief is, "I always fail," change it to, "Every failure teaches me and makes me stronger." The key is not to blindly affirm something unrealistic, but to create a belief that supports growth and action. An empowering belief is one that reminds you of your ability to grow, adapt, and improve. Challenging limiting beliefs requires daily practice because these thoughts are deeply ingrained. It is not enough to reject them once, you must consistently train your mind to recognize and replace them. Just like building a muscle, you strengthen your mental power by repetition. Each time you reject a limiting belief and act anyway, you build evidence that you are capable. Over time, the new belief becomes natural, and the old one fades away. The greatest breakthroughs in life often happen on the other side of a limiting belief. Think about how many opportunities are missed because someone believed they weren't ready, weren't talented enough, or didn't deserve success. But the moment you replace "I can't" with "I will try," doors start to open. Taking action, even small steps, is the proof your mind needs to see that those old stories were lies. Another powerful way to overcome limiting beliefs is to expose yourself to new experiences and new people. When you surround yourself with individuals who believe in growth, you realize how much more is possible. If everyone in your environment thinks small, you will think small too. But if you connect with people who push beyond fear, you begin to see that your own limits are not real. They are simply unchallenged. Inspiration from others expands what you believe is possible for yourself. Your environment also includes what you consume mentally. Books, conversations, and daily inputs shape your thinking. If you spend time around negativity, you reinforce limiting beliefs. If you fill your mind with wisdom, encouragement, and success stories, you build beliefs that empower you. Choose carefully what you allow into your mental space, because every message you receive either strengthens your mind or weakens it. It is also vital to practice self-compassion as you work to challenge limiting beliefs. Many people add a second layer of limitation by criticizing themselves for having these doubts in the first place. Understand that limiting beliefs are natural, but they do not define you. Do not judge yourself for having them. Instead, commit to replacing them. The goal is not to eliminate all doubt, but to prevent doubt from deciding your future. Another step to unlocking hidden mental power is to act before you feel ready. Waiting for perfect confidence keeps you trapped in old beliefs. Action itself creates belief. The first time you take a step into the unknown, you may still feel the fear, but when you complete that step successfully, your mind begins to rewrite the story. Each new action gives your brain evidence that you are capable, and this evidence destroys the old lies that once controlled you. As you challenge your beliefs, you will discover that the limits you thought were real are only walls you built yourself. They disappear the moment you stop feeding them with attention. Your hidden mental power is not created. It has always been there waiting to be released. What holds it back is the layer of false beliefs built over years. By questioning, replacing, and acting in spite of those beliefs, you clear the way for your true power to rise. The results of this work are life-changing. When you remove limiting beliefs, you make decisions with clarity instead of fear. You take risks that lead to growth. You see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You approach challenges with confidence instead of hesitation. Most importantly, you begin to live in alignment with your full potential rather than the small version of yourself that doubt created. Every great achievement begins with someone who dared to believe differently. What you think about yourself shapes what you attempt, and what you attempt shapes what you achieve. If you tell yourself you are not capable, you will never try. But if you believe that you are capable of learning, growing, and adapting, nothing can stop you. The key is not to eliminate every doubt, but to stop letting those doubts decide your future. Right now, you have beliefs that are either moving you forward or holding you back. The power to change lies in your decision to challenge them. Every time you catch yourself saying, "I can't," replace it with, "I will find a way." Every time you think this is too hard, replace it with, "This will make me stronger." By doing this daily, you reprogram your mind for growth, resilience, and success. Unlocking hidden mental power is not about waiting for motivation. It is about training your mind to stop accepting lies. Once you remove the false limits, you discover that your capacity to create, achieve, and succeed is far greater than you imagined. The world is not holding you back. Your beliefs are. Change your beliefs and you change your life. Chapter 14. Focus energy on high-value tasks that matter. Your progress in life will always be determined not by how busy you are, but by where you place your energy each day, because scattered effort creates exhaustion, while focused effort creates results. Many people confuse activity with achievement. They fill their hours with endless small tasks, yet their lives do not move forward because they have not learned to identify what truly matters. If you want to create a life of success, peace, and lasting growth, you must master the ability to direct your attention toward high-value tasks and protect your energy from everything else. High-value tasks are the actions that actually push you closer to your goals. They are the steps that bring real progress in your health, finances, relationships, or personal growth. For some, it may be deep work on a business idea. For others, it could be studying a new skill, exercising daily, or building strong connections. The common thread is that these tasks directly contribute to the future you want. Low-value tasks, on the other hand, are the distractions that fill your time without moving you forward. Scrolling endlessly, worrying about what others think, or busy work that looks productive but has no lasting impact. The first step is to become brutally honest with yourself about how you currently spend your time. Most people underestimate how much energy is lost to unimportant things. Track your day and notice where your focus goes. How many minutes slip away on activities that do not support your vision? How often do you say yes to obligations that drain you without giving anything back? Awareness of wasted energy is the foundation for change, because you cannot improve what you do not measure. Once you are aware, you must choose consciously. Every hour you spend is an investment, and just like money, the return depends on where you place it. If you invest your energy in distraction, you get regret. If you invest it in growth, you get progress. To decide which tasks hold the highest value, ask yourself, does this move me closer to the life I want? Will this matter 5 years from now? Does this build strength, skill, or opportunity? If the answer is no, it is a signal that your energy is being wasted. Focusing on high-value tasks requires discipline, because distractions are always available. The world will pull at your attention with notifications, demands, and temptations. If you do not guard your focus, it will be stolen. This means creating clear boundaries with your time. Set aside uninterrupted blocks for your most important work. Turn off distractions, silence interruptions, and give your full presence to the task at hand. 1 hour of pure focus is more powerful than 5 hours of half-hearted attention. Energy management also involves protecting your physical and mental state. If you are constantly exhausted, even high-value tasks will feel overwhelming. Rest, nutrition, exercise, and mindfulness are not luxuries. They are investments in your ability to perform at your best. Think of your energy like a limited resource that must be guarded. When you treat your body and mind with respect, you gain the stamina to stay consistent with the work that matters. Another key principle is learning to say no. Many people struggle with focus because they want to please everyone. They accept commitments that pull them in 10 different directions, leaving no strength for their own priorities. Saying no is not selfish, it is wise. Each time you decline a low-value request, you are saying yes to your growth, your goals, and your future. The courage to protect your energy is what separates those who drift from those who rise. Prioritization is the daily practice of focus. At the start of each day, identify the 1 to 3 tasks that will create the most progress if completed. Make these non-negotiable, even if everything else remains undone. Completing the highest value actions ensures that you are always moving forward. Over time, this builds unstoppable momentum. You do not need to do everything. You only need to consistently do the things that matter most. When you focus your energy on what matters, you also experience deeper fulfillment. Distraction may give momentary pleasure, but it never brings satisfaction. Real satisfaction comes from knowing you are aligned with your values and making progress on your vision. Each time you complete a high-value task, you reinforce your identity as someone who takes charge of their life. This builds confidence, pride, and a sense of purpose that no external validation can match. It is also important to adjust your focus as your life evolves. What is high value today may not be high value tomorrow. Continually reflect on your direction and goals. Are your actions still aligned with your vision, or have you been pulled into old patterns of busyness? Adapt and refine your priorities regularly so that your energy is always flowing toward your true path. High-value focus also applies to relationships. Spend time with people who challenge you to grow and inspire you to rise. Limit exposure to those who drain your energy or keep you stuck in negativity. Just as with tasks, some relationships multiply your growth, while others hold you back. Choose carefully, because your environment plays a direct role in your ability to stay focused on what matters. As you master this practice, you will notice a shift in your results. Instead of feeling overwhelmed with endless tasks, you will feel clarity and direction. Instead of being drained at the end of the day, you will feel energized by meaningful progress. Success is not about doing more, it is about doing what counts with all of your strength. Remember that every successful person you admire did not get there by being busy. They got there by being focused. They identified what mattered most and poured their energy into it with consistency. You have the same ability. The difference between those who achieve and those who struggle is not intelligence or luck. It is the discipline of focus. Right now, you have the choice to redirect your energy. You can continue scattering it on low-value distractions, or you can concentrate it on the few tasks that truly matter. Every day is an opportunity to align your focus with your future. The moment you decide to honor your time and protect your energy, you begin the process of transformation. Do not underestimate the power of small, consistent focus. One focused hour each day compounds into mastery over years. One daily step toward your highest priorities creates progress that no amount of busyness can match. This is how you turn dreams into reality, by choosing focus over distraction, value over noise, and clarity over confusion. Your energy is your greatest resource, and where you place it shapes your destiny. Protect it, direct it, focus it only on what truly matters, and your life will transform in ways that once felt impossible. Success will not come from spreading yourself thin. It will come from sharpening your focus and giving your best to the highest value tasks. This discipline will separate your present self from your future self, and the rewards will follow you for a lifetime. Chapter 15. Practice patience to allow progress to naturally develop. The ability to wait with strength and calm is one of the most underrated powers you can develop, because real growth never happens overnight, and lasting success is always the result of steady progress that unfolds with time. In a world where everything is designed for speed and instant gratification, patience becomes a rare discipline, but it is also the very foundation of achievement. When you practice patience, you learn to trust the process, stay consistent with your actions, and allow your effort to mature into results without constantly doubting yourself or rushing the outcome. Impatience is one of the greatest destroyers of potential. It pushes people to give up too early, to abandon good habits before they take root, or to chase shortcuts that promise quick rewards but deliver nothing lasting. If you want your life to change, you must commit not only to hard work, but also to waiting for that work to bear fruit. A seed does not become a tree in a day. Your efforts require nurturing, time, and persistence. Patience is what keeps you steady while the invisible work is happening beneath the surface. Practicing patience does not mean being passive or doing nothing. It means staying engaged in the process without demanding instant results. It means showing up every day, giving your best, and accepting that progress comes in small increments. This mindset prevents frustration from consuming you when results are not immediate. Instead of feeling discouraged, you understand that every step is part of a larger picture. This perspective protects your energy and keeps you moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Patience also sharpens your judgment. When you are calm and willing to wait, you make wiser choices. You are less likely to make desperate decisions out of fear or pressure. You give yourself time to think clearly, to analyze options, and to act from strength rather than impulse. Impulsive decisions may satisfy a temporary urge, but they often lead to regret. Patient decisions, on the other hand, create stability and long-term success. To develop patience, you must first manage your expectations. Many people become frustrated because they expect fast outcomes in areas that naturally require time. Building a career, developing a skill, or transforming your mindset is not something that happens in a week. When you set realistic expectations, you reduce disappointment. You accept that your timeline is not controlled by your desires, but by the effort you are willing to sustain. Another way to strengthen patience is to measure progress in actions rather than immediate results. If your focus is only on the outcome, you will constantly feel anxious about not being there yet. But if you focus on what you are doing today, completing your practice, sticking to your plan, taking the next step, you feel in control. The outcome will take care of itself when the daily actions are done consistently. This shift in focus removes the stress of waiting and replaces it with satisfaction in knowing you are moving in the right direction. Patience also requires faith in yourself. When you do not believe in your ability to succeed, waiting becomes unbearable. You want proof right away to confirm that you are on the right path. But when you trust your discipline, patience becomes easier. You know that even if the results are not visible yet, your consistent effort is building strength behind the scenes. That trust allows you to keep going without constantly questioning whether it is worth it. Frustration often arises when you compare your timeline to others. In today's world, you are constantly shown stories of people who appear to succeed quickly, and this can make you feel behind. But comparison is the enemy of patience. Everyone's journey is unique, and rushing yours to match someone else's will only rob you of peace. Instead of comparing, remind yourself that your progress is valid and your timeline is right for you. Focus on your own path, not on someone else's highlight reel. Patience also helps you appreciate small progress. Instead of waiting for one big victory, you learn to notice the small wins along the way. Every improvement, no matter how small, is a sign that your efforts are working. Celebrating these small steps reinforces your discipline and makes the journey fulfilling. Without patience, you overlook these signs and become blind to the growth that is already happening. A powerful practice to cultivate patience is mindfulness. When you train yourself to stay present in the current moment, you stop obsessing over the future. You focus on what you can do now, and you let go of the constant urge to control everything ahead of you. This mindset reduces anxiety and helps you remain grounded. It reminds you that life unfolds step by step, and the present moment is where true power lies. Patience also develops resilience. When you wait without giving up, you become mentally tougher. You learn to endure discomfort, to keep moving even when the journey feels endless. This resilience is what separates those who quit from those who succeed. Success is rarely about talent alone. It is about the ability to keep going long enough for your efforts to pay off. Patience gives you the endurance to stay in the game until the reward comes. Another benefit of patience is the peace it brings. Impatience creates constant stress because you are always in a rush, always demanding results before their time. Patience frees you from that pressure. It gives you the calm confidence of knowing that you are on the right path and that results will come at the right moment. This peace allows you to enjoy the process instead of resenting it. Practicing patience also helps you build stronger relationships. When you are patient with others, you listen more, you understand more, and you respond with kindness instead of irritation. This builds trust and respect. Just as you need patience with yourself, you also need patience with the people around you. Everyone has their own pace of growth, and giving them space to develop strengthens your connections. Patience is not weakness. It is strength under control. It takes far more power to wait with discipline than to rush in desperation. Anyone can act on impulse, but it takes wisdom to hold back until the time is right. Patience is the mark of someone who has mastered themselves, who refuses to let emotions dictate their actions, and who understands that everything worthwhile requires time. To apply patience daily, create routines that reinforce it. Break your big goals into small steps and commit to those steps without constantly checking the outcome. When frustration arises, remind yourself that growth is happening even if you cannot see it yet. Use deep breathing or short pauses to calm your mind when you feel pressure building. Over time, these practices train your nervous system to stay composed and steady. The truth is, your life will not transform because of one big action. It will transform because of many small actions sustained over time. This is why patience is so powerful. It allows those actions to accumulate without interruption. Without it, you keep restarting, chasing new things, and never allowing your efforts to reach their full effect. With patience, you stay steady, and that steadiness creates unstoppable progress. Every major achievement in history has been built on patience. Great leaders, innovators, and builders endured long periods of unseen effort before the world noticed their success. The same principle applies to you. Your dreams will not appear instantly, but if you stay patient, they will appear in time. The question is not whether progress will come. The question is whether you will keep going long enough to see it. Right now, you have the choice to practice patience or to give in to impatience. If you choose patience, you will find strength, peace, and steady growth. You will become the kind of person who cannot be shaken by delays or setbacks, and in the end, patience will reward you with results that are not only achieved but sustained. Trust the process. Honor the time it takes, and let your progress develop naturally. Chapter 16. Monitor habits to remove distractions and increase productivity. The quality of your life is determined by the habits you practice consistently and the distractions you refuse to allow into your daily routine. Because success does not happen by accident, but by deliberate, repeated actions that align with your goals. Every small habit either moves you forward or pulls you backward, and the key to extraordinary productivity is identifying which actions serve your growth and which consume your energy without return. Most people drift through life reacting to whatever demands their attention, yet the most powerful individuals actively monitor their habits and adjust them to eliminate waste and maximize results. Distractions are the silent thieves of progress. They appear in the form of notifications, unnecessary meetings, social media scrolling, and even mindless worrying. Each interruption may feel minor in the moment, but cumulatively they erode focus and productivity. The first step toward improvement is awareness, tracking how your time is spent so that you can see where your attention is being pulled away from meaningful work. By observing your habits without judgment, you create the opportunity for conscious choice. Once you are aware of your current patterns, you must evaluate them critically. Ask yourself, does this habit contribute to my goals, or does it drain my energy? Does this activity bring me closer to the life I want, or distract me from it? Many habits are ingrained over years without ever being questioned. By examining them intentionally, you separate the ones that are beneficial from those that are destructive. This evaluation is not a one-time activity, but an ongoing practice that ensures you stay aligned with your priorities. Eliminating distractions requires courage and discipline. It means setting boundaries and saying no to things that do not serve your purpose. Turning off notifications, scheduling focused work periods, and controlling your environment are practical steps that protect your attention. This is not about perfection, but about creating conditions where your mind can focus on high-value tasks. Every choice to reduce distraction compounds into increased clarity and momentum over time. Building productive habits begins with small, consistent actions. Trying to overhaul your life in a single day often leads to frustration and failure. Instead, focus on one habit at a time and commit to it fully until it becomes automatic. Whether it is dedicating the first hour of your day to focused work, journaling to track progress, or planning your tasks in advance, small actions practiced consistently create powerful results. Habits are the foundation on which productivity is built, and strength comes from repetition and persistence. Self-monitoring is critical to sustaining progress. Keeping a daily log of your activities, reflecting on successes and failures, and adjusting your routines based on outcomes allows you to remain accountable. Without monitoring, even well-intentioned habits can drift into ineffectiveness. Feedback is essential. It tells you what is working, what needs adjustment, and where your energy is being wasted. Monitoring your risks is a form of discipline that strengthens focus and prevents wasted effort. Another important element is prioritization. Not all habits are equally valuable. Identify which actions yield the greatest results and allocate your energy accordingly. This principle is the difference between being busy and being productive. By focusing on habits that directly contribute to your goals, you eliminate unnecessary effort and create more impact with less wasted energy. Each day becomes purposeful, and your results compound faster than ever before. Environment plays a crucial role in habit formation and productivity. Surround yourself with conditions that encourage focus and consistency. Clear your workspace of clutter. Reduce digital interruptions, and spend time in places that energize rather than drain you. Your surroundings directly influence your ability to maintain high-performance habits. Changing your environment to support your goals is as important as changing your actions. Accountability enhances habit formation. Sharing your goals with someone who encourages discipline or tracking progress publicly creates an external force that reinforces your internal commitment. The knowledge that someone else is aware of your habits increases follow-through. Accountability partners, mentors, or structured systems ensure that monitoring does not remain passive, but actively drives action and improvement. Breaking bad habits is just as critical as forming good ones. Identify the triggers that lead to unproductive behavior and replace them with positive alternatives. For example, if checking social media when stressed is a habit, replace it with a short walk or focused breathing. Every habit has a cue and a reward. By changing the response while keeping the routine consistent, you shift behavior from harmful to beneficial. Consistency is the bridge between habits and results. Habits alone are meaningless without repeated application. Even small productive actions compound over weeks and months into extraordinary outcomes. The ability to stay consistent, especially in the face of distractions, separates those who achieve from those who merely attempt. Each day that you monitor and refine your habits builds a layer of strength, clarity, and momentum that cannot be undone. Reflection is a powerful tool in habit management. At the end of each day or week, review what you accomplished, what distracted you, and how your energy was spent. Honest reflection allows for course correction and ensures that your time is invested wisely. Without reflection, habits become mechanical and productivity loses its purpose. Self-awareness combined with action creates a cycle of continuous improvement. Habits also influence your mindset. Productive routines cultivate confidence, focus, and discipline, while chaotic habits breed stress, doubt, and frustration. By deliberately choosing habits that align with your values and goals, you reinforce a mental state that supports high performance. Your mindset and actions are intertwined, improving one strengthens the other. One of the most overlooked aspects of habit monitoring is recovery. Overwork and neglecting rest reduce productivity and make it easier for distractions to dominate your attention. Schedule time for rest, reflection, and rejuvenation. Your mind performs best when it is healthy, focused, and free from unnecessary strain. Protecting your energy ensures that your habits are sustainable and that your progress continues without burnout. Habits are not static. They evolve. What serves you today may become insufficient tomorrow. Regularly review and adjust routines to match your current goals, challenges, and opportunity. Continuous improvement ensures that your efforts remain high impact and that your productivity grows as you grow. Flexibility within consistency is what allows habits to become powerful long-term tools. Every successful individual uses habits as a leverage point. They do not rely on motivation alone, because motivation is fleeting. Habits create automatic behavior that produces results regardless of temporary feelings. Monitoring habits ensures that these automatic behaviors remain aligned with your vision, preventing drift and maintaining momentum even during challenging periods. At this moment, you have the power to take control of your habits and eliminate distractions that steal your focus. You can choose to act with discipline, track your actions, and refine your routines so that every day is intentional and productive. Productivity is not about working harder, it is about working smarter by consistently aligning your actions with your highest priorities. The practice of monitoring habits transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Each small adjustment in how you spend your time compounds into efficiency, clarity, and success. By staying vigilant, refining routines, and eliminating distractions, you create an environment where your best work emerges naturally. Your habits are the engine, your focus is the fuel, and your life's results are the outcome. Chapter 17. Serve others to create meaningful influence and trust. True influence is earned not through power or authority, but through the consistent act of serving others with sincerity and integrity, because trust cannot be demanded. It must be built through action, care, and reliability. In a world that often glorifies self-promotion, the real leaders are those who dedicate themselves to helping others rise while staying grounded in their own purpose. Serving others is not a weakness or an obligation. It is the most effective strategy to create lasting impact, develop meaningful connections, and cultivate respect that cannot be taken away. The first step in serving others is to recognize the value of your unique skills, knowledge, and presence. Every individual possesses something that can benefit someone else, whether it is guidance, encouragement, insight, or simply the willingness to listen. Understanding that your contributions matter shifts your focus from self-interest to purpose-driven action. Once you acknowledge your potential to help, you begin to act intentionally toward the growth and well-being of those around you. Serving others begins with empathy. To be truly influential, you must understand the needs, challenges, and desires of those you wish to support. Listening carefully, observing attentively, and engaging authentically allows you to respond effectively. Empathy is the bridge between action and meaningful impact, because it ensures that your service is aligned with the real needs of others, rather than assumptions or superficial gestures. Consistency is essential in creating trust. One act of service may be appreciated, but repeated actions build reliability and credibility. When people see that you are dependable, they begin to place confidence in your words and actions. Trust grows gradually through small, deliberate contributions that demonstrate care and competence. Influence without trust is fleeting, but influence rooted in consistent service endures. Serving others is also a powerful learning opportunity. Every interaction teaches you new perspectives, strengthens communication skills, and enhances emotional intelligence. By prioritizing the needs of others, you sharpen your ability to think strategically, solve problems, and act decisively. This growth not only benefits those you serve, but also expands your own capabilities, creating a cycle of mutual progress. Authenticity is non-negotiable. People can sense when service is performed for recognition or personal gain rather than genuine care. Authentic service requires humility, the willingness to put others first without seeking immediate reward. When your actions are driven by sincere intention, influence naturally follows because people recognize integrity and respond positively to it. Setting boundaries is part of effective service. Serving does not mean sacrificing your well-being or allowing yourself to be drained. You can create impact while maintaining your energy, focus, and priorities. Strategic service involves choosing where your contributions will matter most and where your time is best spent. This ensures sustainability and prevents burnout while maintaining the quality of your influence. Mentorship is one of the most powerful forms of serving others. Sharing your knowledge, experiences, and guidance can accelerate the growth of someone else while reinforcing your own understanding and leadership. Teaching, advising, and coaching create long-lasting influence because the benefits extend far beyond the immediate moment. By investing in others' success, you indirectly multiply your own reach and impact. Small, consistent gestures are often more powerful than grand gestures. A kind word, a thoughtful action, or timely support can create ripple effects that transform relationships and reputations. Focus on making a difference where you can rather than waiting for perfect circumstances. Regular, deliberate acts of service compound over time into credibility, influence, and trust that are impossible to achieve through short-term efforts. Service also enhances collaboration. People naturally gravitate toward those who demonstrate reliability, care, and competence. By serving others, you build partnerships based on mutual respect and shared goals. Opportunities often arise from these relationships, and doors open because people trust that you will contribute positively rather than exploit situations for personal gain. Influence is reinforced when people know you prioritize collective success over selfish motives. Patience plays a role in serving effectively. Not every effort yields immediate results, and not every relationship flourishes instantly. Trust develops slowly and requires consistent demonstration of care and capability. Recognizing that your efforts may take time to manifest prevents frustration and encourages long-term commitment to meaningful service. Endurance in serving others is often what separates superficial connections from deep, lasting influence. Listening actively is a habit that amplifies the impact of your service. When you truly hear what someone is saying, you validate their experience and create a sense of respect. Listening without judgment or the need to respond immediately allows others to feel understood, which in turn strengthens trust. The power of listening extends beyond the moment, forming the foundation of relationships that endure challenges and time. Generosity of time, attention, and knowledge is essential. Influence is rarely built by holding resources tightly. It grows when you share what you have freely and wisely. This does not mean giving indiscriminately, but choosing areas where your contribution will create the greatest value. Strategic generosity multiplies influence because it demonstrates both capability and commitment to others' success. Feedback and guidance are key aspects of service. Helping someone identify blind spots or improve performance requires courage and tact. Providing honest, constructive input demonstrates investment in their growth. People respect those who challenge them to improve when it is done with sincerity rather than criticism. This kind of service not only elevates others, but also positions you as a trusted source of insight. Serving others also strengthens your reputation. Your actions become a reflection of your values and character. When people see that you consistently act in service to others, your credibility grows and your influence expands organically. Trust and respect are earned through repeated demonstration of helpfulness, integrity, and competence, not through titles or claims. Impactful service often requires stepping outside comfort zones. Supporting someone may involve difficult conversations, extra effort, or confronting uncertainty. Growth in influence comes from courage, the willingness to act for the benefit of others, even when it is inconvenient. Over time, these choices reinforce resilience, leadership, and the ability to handle complex challenges while maintaining integrity. Serving others also provides intrinsic satisfaction that external achievements alone cannot deliver. The knowledge that your actions improve someone's life creates purpose and fulfillment. This sense of meaning strengthens your motivation, fuels persistence, and enhances emotional well-being. Influence gained through service is not only sustainable but deeply rewarding on a personal level. Reflection enhances the effectiveness of service. Periodically evaluating the impact of your actions ensures that your efforts align with the needs of others and remain meaningful. Adjusting your approach based on outcomes and feedback prevents wasted effort and maximizes value. Continuous learning from service experiences strengthens both competence and character, increasing your ability to influence effectively. True service extends beyond immediate gain. It creates networks of trust, loyalty, and collaboration that multiply over time. By investing in others' success, you position yourself as a central figure in communities and organizations. Influence grows exponentially when it is built on the foundation of consistent, authentic service rather than self-interest. Your ability to serve effectively shapes not only the lives of others but also your own trajectory. By prioritizing the needs of those around you, practicing empathy, demonstrating reliability, and giving strategically, you cultivate a presence that inspires trust, respect, and collaboration. Influence is not a product of status, but of consistent, meaningful contribution, and those who embrace service as a guiding principle become magnets for opportunities, partnerships, and lasting success. Chapter 18. Adapt quickly to change to stay ahead consistently. Success belongs to those who adjust swiftly, because the world never waits. Circumstances constantly shift, and the ability to adapt quickly determines who thrives and who falls behind. Change is not a disruption to be feared, but a reality to embrace, and your willingness to respond intelligently and decisively to new situations is what separates average performers from leaders in every field. Every day presents new challenges, new opportunities, and new conditions that demand a flexible mind and a resilient approach, and learning to move with these shifts rather than resisting them is the key to consistent progress. Adapting quickly begins with awareness. You must observe your environment closely, understand trends, and notice shifts before they become crises. People who wait until change is forced upon them often struggle, while those who anticipate and respond early maintain control and leverage situations in their favor. Awareness requires constant learning, staying informed, and analyzing patterns to predict what adjustments will be necessary. This proactive approach ensures you are always positioned to act decisively rather than react impulsively. Flexibility in mindset is essential. Being rigid limits your options and keeps you trapped in outdated methods. When you encounter unexpected challenges, a flexible mind allows you to explore alternatives, rethink strategies, and identify new pathways to your goals. Adaptation does not mean abandoning principles or values. It means finding creative ways to achieve objectives while navigating evolving circumstances. Rapid adaptation also relies on decisiveness. Observing change is only valuable if you act on the insights you gather. Hesitation leads to missed opportunities and wasted energy. Making timely decisions, even in uncertain situations, creates momentum and builds confidence. The more you practice responding swiftly and thoughtfully, the more natural it becomes to turn change into advantage rather than obstacle. Building resilience supports adaptation. Change often comes with discomfort, risk, and temporary setbacks. Without resilience, even minor disruptions can derail progress. Strengthening mental and emotional endurance allows you to remain composed under pressure, think clearly, and respond effectively when circumstances shift. Resilience ensures that adaptation is not reactive panic, but strategic adjustment, guided by a calm, focused mind. Learning continuously is central to staying ahead. Knowledge and skill gaps slow your response to change. By committing to ongoing education, skill building, and self-improvement, you increase your capacity to handle unexpected challenges. The more tools, experiences, and insights you have at your disposal, the faster you can pivot when circumstances demand it. A mindset of perpetual learning creates a natural advantage in a world that never stops evolving. Evaluating risks quickly is another key element of adaptation. Every change carries potential benefits and threats, and the ability to assess these factors rapidly determines the quality of your response. Risk analysis does not require perfection. It requires practical judgment and the courage to act based on available information. Those who can weigh risks accurately and move forward decisively are the ones who turn challenges into opportunities consistently. Embracing change also requires letting go of the familiar. People often cling to routines, methods, or systems simply because they are comfortable, even when they are no longer effective. Letting go is not giving up, it is creating space for better solutions. Releasing attachment to outdated approaches allows you to implement new strategies that are better suited to current realities. This willingness to release what no longer works accelerates progress and positions you to thrive amid shifting circumstances. Preparation enhances adaptability. Anticipating potential scenarios, creating contingency plans, and organizing resources before change hits allows you to respond quickly. Preparedness reduces panic, increases clarity, and gives you confidence when acting. Those who invest time in preparation find that even dramatic changes become manageable because they are ready to respond strategically rather than react chaotically. Adaptation thrives on experimentation. When circumstances shift, testing small adjustments can reveal what works best. Incremental experiments reduce risk while providing valuable insights. Trying different approaches, monitoring results, and adjusting accordingly builds a flexible system that responds efficiently to evolving conditions. Experimentation also encourages creative problem-solving and continuous improvement. Communicating effectively is critical during times of change. Whether you are working with a team, a business, or personal projects, Conveying your plan clearly, listening to feedback, and adjusting collaboratively ensures that adaptation is coordinated and effective. Miscommunication can turn small changes into large setbacks, so clarity and responsiveness are essential for navigating transitions successfully. Emotional control accelerates adaptation. Fear, frustration, or resistance can slow your ability to pivot. By managing your emotions, you maintain clarity and focus, allowing rational decision-making even under pressure. Emotional discipline transforms challenges into actionable opportunities and prevents setbacks from derailing your progress. Consistency in action ensures that adaptation produces results. Responding to change once is not enough. Ongoing adjustments are often required as conditions continue to evolve. Staying disciplined, monitoring outcomes, and refining strategies consistently allows you to convert shifting circumstances into continuous progress. Adaptation is not a one-time skill but a sustained approach to life and work. Observing successful individuals provides lessons in adaptation. Leaders who navigate change effectively share traits such as foresight, flexibility, decisiveness, and resilience. Studying how others respond, learning from their strategies, and applying those insights to your context accelerates your ability to adapt successfully. Mentorship, role models, and case studies are practical tools to strengthen this skill. Technology and tools can enhance adaptability. Utilizing systems that streamline information, organize tasks, and provide real-time feedback improves your capacity to respond quickly. Leveraging technology strategically reduces lag in decision-making and allows you to act efficiently in dynamic environments. Staying updated with innovations relevant to your goals keeps you equipped to pivot when necessary. Mindset determines speed of adaptation. Those who see change as opportunity rather than threat respond faster and more effectively. Developing a positive, growth-oriented perspective allows you to embrace uncertainty, identify possibilities, and act proactively. The mindset shift from fear to opportunity is the most powerful lever for adapting successfully. Networking supports rapid adaptation. Surrounding yourself with knowledgeable, resourceful individuals allows you to access insights, support, and collaboration when circumstances shift. A strong network provides guidance, diverse perspectives, and potential partnerships that facilitate quick and effective response to change. Relationships amplify your ability to adapt. Time management is essential during transitions. Prioritizing high-impact tasks and avoiding distractions ensures that your response to change is effective. Adaptation requires focus, and efficient use of time allows you to implement adjustments without losing momentum. Every decision about where to invest energy during change determines the quality of your outcomes. Reflection strengthens future adaptability. After responding to change, reviewing what worked, what failed, and what could be improved builds experience and insight. Learning from each scenario improves your speed and judgment for future shifts. Reflection transforms each challenge into preparation for the next, creating a continuous cycle of improvement. Ultimately, those who consistently stay ahead are those who adapt with agility, resilience, and intelligence. Change will always come, and the difference between stagnation and progress lies in your ability to respond quickly and strategically. By observing, learning, acting decisively, managing emotions, and reflecting, you transform uncertainty into advantage and maintain momentum in all areas of life. Adaptation is not optional. It is the skill that ensures that you remain relevant, effective, and successful no matter what the world throws at you. Chapter 19. Celebrate wins to reinforce momentum and positive mindset. Success builds momentum when you acknowledge and celebrate every win, because recognition transforms effort into motivation, reinforces positive habits, and strengthens belief in your own capabilities. Every accomplishment, no matter how small, carries value and serves as proof that consistent action leads to results, and ignoring these milestones diminishes energy and confidence. Celebration is not a moment of vanity, but a strategic practice that fuels persistence, maintains morale, and encourages continuous progress toward larger goals. Acknowledging wins begins with awareness. Take time to notice what you have achieved each day, whether completing a difficult task, overcoming a challenge, or simply sticking to a productive habit. Writing down accomplishments creates clarity and reinforces the reality that your efforts are producing tangible results. Tracking progress visually or through journals allows you to see patterns of growth, providing motivation to continue moving forward. Celebration also strengthens self-belief. When you pause to recognize progress, you remind yourself of your competence, resilience, and ability to create outcomes. Confidence grows not from grand achievements alone, but from consistent recognition of smaller victories along the journey. By celebrating even minor wins, you create a positive feedback loop that reinforces action and determination. Sharing achievements with others amplifies their impact. Telling mentors, peers, or team members about your accomplishments fosters accountability and encourages support. It also inspires others by showing that effort leads to results. This sharing is not about seeking approval, but about creating a network that values progress, encouragement, and mutual growth. Recognition from others strengthens commitment and reinforces momentum. The act of celebration itself has practical benefits. Pausing to acknowledge a win provides a mental reset, reduces stress, and increases clarity for the next task. It marks the completion of an effort, allowing you to transition into new goals with focus rather than fatigue or frustration. Celebrations do not need extravagance. A moment of reflection, a note of gratitude, or a brief pause to appreciate your work is sufficient to reinforce progress. Celebration reinforces positive habits. When achievements are recognized, the behaviors that led to them are strengthened. This psychological reinforcement ensures that productive patterns are repeated, while ineffective approaches are naturally abandoned. Your brain links effort with reward, increasing motivation to maintain consistency in the future. Habit formation is accelerated when wins are acknowledged strategically and intentionally. Celebrating wins also shifts perspective toward abundance and growth. Instead of focusing on what is lacking or unfinished, you recognize what has been accomplished and the progress already made. This mindset reduces frustration, maintains optimism, and encourages resilience when challenges arise. A growth-oriented perspective is nurtured by acknowledging success and valuing the journey as much as the destination. Timing is critical in celebration. Recognizing progress immediately after achievement maximizes the impact on motivation and mindset. Waiting too long dilutes the connection between effort and reward. Instant acknowledgement, whether internal reflection or sharing with others, reinforces the behavior that produced the win and encourages continued engagement. Personalizing celebrations enhances their meaning. Reflect on what matters most to you and recognize achievements in ways that align with your values. This personalization makes the act of celebration more meaningful and memorable, deepening its effect on motivation and mindset. A win that resonates emotionally leaves a lasting imprint and strengthens commitment to future goals. Celebration should also include lessons learned. Every win provides insight into what strategies, behaviors, or decisions were effective. By analyzing successes, you create a blueprint for future actions and reinforce approaches that lead to results. Reflection paired with acknowledgement strengthens skill development, decision-making, and strategic thinking. Gratitude amplifies the impact of celebration. Recognizing wins with appreciation for your efforts, resources, or support systems connects achievement with a positive emotional state. Gratitude deepens satisfaction, reduces complacency, and enhances mental resilience. Celebrating with awareness and thankfulness creates a powerful combination that reinforces momentum and positive energy. Celebration is a tool for sustaining energy and focus. When you recognize progress, your motivation surges, your focus sharpens, and your commitment increases. This energy fuels subsequent actions, helping you tackle challenges with confidence and persistence. Without celebration, effort can feel endless and unrewarded, reducing drive and slowing progress. Integrating celebration into routines ensures consistency. Build reflection periods at the end of each day, week, or month to review accomplishments, recognize effort, and plan next steps. A structured approach ensures that acknowledgement of progress becomes habitual rather than sporadic. Consistent recognition reinforces momentum and makes it easier to maintain a positive mindset over time. Celebration strengthens relationships and influence. Recognizing team members or peers for their contributions creates trust, loyalty, and cooperation. Collective acknowledgement fosters a culture of encouragement and high performance. Celebrating together enhances motivation for all parties and ensures that success is shared, not solitary, reinforcing collaboration and mutual support. Small wins compound into major achievements. Each acknowledgement of progress reinforces habits, increases confidence, and motivates further action. By celebrating regularly, you accumulate momentum that accelerates growth and enhances the likelihood of achieving ambitious goals. Ignoring small victories often slows progress and diminishes belief in what is possible. Celebration also serves as a reminder of resilience. Every win, regardless of size, reflects persistence, adaptability, and effort. By recognizing achievements, you reinforce your ability to overcome obstacles and maintain forward momentum even in the face of difficulty. Celebrating progress acknowledges both effort and result, strengthening your sense of competence and resilience. Maintaining humility during celebration ensures balance. Acknowledging success does not mean arrogance or comparison with others. Celebrating with humility allows you to stay grounded, appreciate growth authentically, and use recognition as motivation rather than ego. Humility preserves clarity, perspective, and focus on continuous improvement. Acknowledging failures alongside wins creates a holistic view of progress. Understanding what went wrong while celebrating what went right provides insight and strengthens strategic thinking. This balanced approach ensures that celebration is productive, reinforcing lessons learned while maintaining optimism and drive. Success is built on both wins and the wisdom gained from challenges. Celebrating wins consistently creates a culture of progress within yourself and among those around you. It reinforces the connection between effort and results, enhances motivation, strengthens habits, and fosters resilience. Each recognition of achievement builds confidence, focus, and belief, creating an upward spiral of energy and performance. Your commitment to acknowledging and celebrating wins transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary progress. Every small success becomes a building block for confidence, positive mindset, and long-term momentum. By reflecting, appreciating, and sharing victories, you ensure that progress compounds, motivation strengthens, and your trajectory remains upward. The practice of celebration is a strategic tool, a mindset enhancer, and a powerful engine for sustained growth that cannot be replicated by effort alone. Chapter 20. Commit fully to action to activate the golden mind. True transformation begins the moment you fully commit to action, because ideas, plans, and intentions alone cannot change your life. Only decisive, consistent execution activates the power of your mind and sets unstoppable momentum in motion. Commitment is the bridge between dreams and reality, and without it, even the best strategies remain dormant. Taking action with full focus, energy, and determination is the practice that separates ordinary ambition from extraordinary achievement. Committing fully requires clarity of purpose. You must define exactly what you want to achieve, why it matters, and how it aligns with your values. A vague intention produces weak results, but a clearly defined goal fuels energy and directs effort. When you know your destination, every step you take becomes purposeful, and every action contributes meaningfully to your growth. Decisive action begins with eliminating hesitation. Waiting for perfect conditions or the right moment delays progress indefinitely. Momentum builds when you start now, even imperfectly, and adjust as you go. Each step, no matter how small, compounds into tangible progress and builds confidence in your ability to execute consistently. Discipline is the foundation of commitment. Action sustained over time requires structure, focus, and the ability to prioritize effectively. Without discipline, motivation fluctuates, distractions take over, and goals remain unfulfilled. Building daily routines, managing energy wisely, and maintaining focus on high-value activities ensures that commitment transforms into measurable results. Taking full action demands courage. Fear, doubt, and uncertainty are natural barriers, but moving forward despite discomfort separates those who achieve from those who hesitate. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Every courageous choice strengthens mental resilience, sharpens focus, and expands the capacity of your mind to handle increasingly complex challenges. Consistency reinforces commitment. Sporadic bursts of effort produce temporary results, but steady, deliberate action compounds over time. Each day you choose to act fully, you reinforce habits that build strength, capability, and confidence. Consistency is the vehicle through which the golden mind is activated, turning ordinary effort into extraordinary mastery. Accountability magnifies the power of commitment. Sharing your goals and progress with a trusted mentor, peer, or accountability partner keeps you honest and focused. Knowing that someone else is observing your progress increases your likelihood of acting decisively and maintaining momentum. Accountability ensures that commitment is not passive, but active and measurable. Preparation enhances effective action. While over-planning can lead to procrastination, strategic preparation allows you to act with precision and confidence. Knowing your resources, understanding potential obstacles, and mapping practical steps create a roadmap for execution. Preparation does not replace action, it accelerates it by ridging hesitation and mistakes. Adapting while acting is crucial. No plan survives without adjustment, and full commitment requires flexibility in approach, responding to feedback, evaluating outcomes, and making necessary changes ensures that action is always aligned with goals. The golden mind thrives when action is informed by reflection and continuous learning. Energy management fuels sustained action. Committing fully requires physical, mental, and emotional stamina. Prioritizing rest, nutrition, exercise, and mental clarity increases your capacity to act with intensity over the long term. Energy is the currency of action, and protecting and amplifying it ensures that your commitment does not falter. Visualization enhances commitment. Seeing yourself executing goals successfully, experiencing progress, and feeling the satisfaction of achievement strengthens belief in your ability to act. Visualization primes the mind, reduces resistance, and reinforces determination. Your mind responds to what it can clearly imagine, and when paired with decisive action, results become inevitable. Breaking tasks into manageable steps prevents overwhelm and reinforces action. Large goals can feel intimidating, causing hesitation or procrastination. By creating clear, actionable steps, you transform ambition into practical execution. Each completed step reinforces momentum, builds confidence, and strengthens the habit of full commitment. Focus eliminates distractions. Full action requires attention on what matters most. Multitasking, excessive stimulation, and scattered priorities dilute results. Concentrating effort on high-value activities ensures that energy, time, and resources produce maximum impact. The golden mind thrives when focus is disciplined, unwavering, and strategically directed. Persistence ensures that action is sustained through challenges. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but consistent effort, despite difficulty, distinguishes achievers from the rest. Persistence reinforces resilience, sharpens problem-solving, and solidifies confidence. The more you persist, the more powerful your mind becomes, and the more likely success is to follow. Self-belief is the internal fuel of action. Confidence in your capabilities drives decisive execution and reduces hesitation. Belief grows through repeated action, reflection, and acknowledgement of progress. By trusting your ability to act and achieve, you reinforce the mindset that supports full commitment and activates the golden mind. Celebrating progress reinforces commitment. Recognizing achievements along the way strengthens motivation, builds confidence, and maintains momentum. Acknowledgement of success, no matter the size, encourages further action and reinforces the habit of decisive execution. Celebration transforms effort into sustained energy and deepens belief in your potential. Learning from mistakes strengthens future action. Every misstep provides insight, highlights areas for improvement, and sharpens judgment. Commitment is not perfection. It is the willingness to act, adjust, and improve continuously. Reflecting on outcomes ensures that every experience contributes to growth, reinforces learning, and informs subsequent action. Prioritizing action over perfection accelerates results. Waiting for flawless conditions or complete knowledge delays progress unnecessarily. Acting decisively, learning along the way, and adjusting in real time produces tangible outcomes faster. Momentum builds when action is valued over hesitation, and the golden mind responds to consistent effort, not delayed idealism. Action aligned with values multiplies impact. When every decision, task, and effort reflects your principles and purpose, results are meaningful, sustainable, and fulfilling. Alignment ensures that energy is not wasted on trivial or misaligned tasks, reinforcing the efficiency and effectiveness of your commitment. Full commitment transforms obstacles into opportunities. Challenges, resistance, and uncertainty are no longer barriers but catalysts for growth, innovation, and refinement. Acting decisively in the face of difficulty strengthens problem-solving skills, sharpens focus, and expands the boundaries of what you can achieve. The moment you choose to act fully, momentum builds, confidence grows, and the mind begins to operate at its highest potential. Commitment turns intention into reality, ideas into results, and effort into mastery. Activation of the golden mind requires more than planning. It demands unwavering, decisive, and sustained action guided by clarity, focus, and purpose. Committing fully is not a one-time decision. It is a continuous practice that permeates every area of life. Each action reinforces belief, builds capability, and strengthens the neural pathways that support focus, creativity, and resilience. The golden mind emerges naturally when commitment to action becomes habitual, deliberate, and uncompromising. The combination of clarity, courage, focus, persistence, and reflection ensures that action produces results consistently. Every choice to move decisively reinforces the habit of execution and strengthens the momentum necessary to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Commitment is the activating force, the catalyst, and the consistent engine that drives the golden mind toward limitless potential, personal mastery, and success in every domain of life.